Buddy, welcome to yet another edition of Burst Limit. I am Toledo, and I'm joined by Salty Boy. How's it going, man?
Howdy, howdy. I'm doing pretty all right. For many people, I am very tired, but I'm gonna keep it a $1.50 with y'all. But at the same time, you know, I gotta come in, clock in for work, and have some fun watching some BlazBlue to end off the day. So we're going to be watching another installment of Burst Limit, like you said, with week number 5. And like always, we're going to be having a pretty stacked bracket, 20 plus players, which has been pretty consistent so far, which, I mean, honestly has been really great.
Yeah, it's always dope to get to, when it comes to these kinds of brackets, and by the way, guys, if you guys are ready to go, you can feel free to queue up. Don't worry about us yapping. I always like, big numbers, always fantastic to see, but it's always really nice to like have consistent faces and see people here, week in and week out. And I think we all appreciate that in general, especially because like with regards to like bigger brackets, we have like a little bit of a lull until I would say like the next in-person major for BlazBlue. Like there's not really, as far as I understand, there's nothing too huge going on in March except for our monthly. You should tune in for that and pop in for that.
Texas Showdown, at least.
Yes, there will be Texas Showdown, which I believe is it in April this year again, or
no? It's normally in April, but it got pushed up to March, so it's going to be on the 28th. So that's going to be a pretty nice bracket over there as well. I mean, maybe you probably wouldn't classify that as a major, but like 40 players, I think we're probably going to be hitting that again. I know that BlazBlue, I like that you mentioned it before, like the consistency, and not only is that shown in these online brackets, possibly offline brackets, because so far BlazBlue has been one of like the top played games at Texas Showdown each of these years, consistently hitting plus 40.
Yeah, it is pretty enjoyable. I do want to talk about that because it is an interesting break point. But before that, we're here for the main course. We got Sprite and MrStealYoSouls. This will be Bang versus Azrael here. And for those that are maybe a little newer to this matchup, when played well, this matchup sucks for Bang. The TLDR, your main neutral tool is nails that are a projectile, and you are against Azrael, who puts his hands in the air and just beats them.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a lot of anti-projectile tools available for Azrael. So it really just comes down to how MrStealYoSouls just, moves around and tries to steal Sprite's soul right now. But Sprite has been known to stay pretty resilient even when under pressure. And right now, Sprite is going to be the one to steal his soul under that pressure. Get a pretty nice corner combo. 4K damage. Pretty darn easily have both weak points applied. Super comes out, so that's going to be a 6
So here's the big thing with Bang's reversal supers. They're all very, very punishable, like most supers in the game, but that one specifically, I always forget if it's Asha or not. That one, he recovers and you punish him while the animation is basically finishing up. So it's way earlier than most punishes in the games on supers. So it's very easy to miss like punishes like Sprite did with the 5C there, but they managed to pick up well and got the round there. In the meantime, these two are just kind of playing it out in neutral, and Sprite just blocking a couple of the nails, and Souls hasn't been able to convert super heavily off of it. Throws coming in. This should be at least one weak point, but the drop is unfortunate. A good 5A anti-air right there, and it really does feel that Sprite is like chilling. Like I don't sense any amount of like nerves from them currently.
Yeah, right now it really just feels like Sprite is just holding forward. We're just always air dashing in, running in, pressing buttons, and StealYoSouls constantly on the defensive, blocking yet again, but no punish once more. Sprite is just kind of letting StealYoSouls get out of pressure for spending a little 15 right there. But right now, StealYoSouls
first. Getting banged to burst is pretty great. I can't lie. Upper weak point apply. This should be a quick conversion for game 1 on Sprite's end. The big thing that we've been seeing is, well, one of the things that we haven't seen is usually really big for Bang in general. I have not seen that man jump into the air with very, maybe annoying, theme song music as he mixes me for like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Wait, it's way shorter than that. I'm sorry, I'm lying. And honestly, whenever you're able to deprive Bang of overdrive, or whenever you make Bang want the burst, it's a godsend. I put it like this: imagine if you will, you're fighting somebody and then they pull out a rocket launcher, and then imagine they just throw it to the side. That's the feeling when characters like Bang pop burst instead of like popping their OP. But I say this, but you could see a crazy comeback on a wake up OP here. Let's see what the situation brings. Ooh, a little late on the throw after the CT, but this is real good for Sprite.
And that's a hit right there. StealYoSouls not even going to toss away that rocket launcher here. There wasn't really a ton of hope in that moment. Sprite getting that perfect, looking good on set point. Both players going in with OD and burst on the table. That poison nail will be hitting Sprite, taking a little bit of that health away. As StealYoSouls actually, it's a nice combo there to throw Sprite into the corner, but nice block from Sprite on that cross-up.
Couple of hits here in neutral, but nothing really conclusive yet. You can talk to death about, you can make a tier list of Azrael's anti-tiers because he just has that many, and they're all varying levels of solid. Throw coming in from Sprite, however, that's going to be the burst yet again, and I cannot undersell it. That is a massive resource gone, and now we're starting to see Sprite make some adjustments in neutral, but honestly, when you're hitting somebody quite like this, it's not neutral anymore.
Yeah, it looks like it is Sprite's game right now. Ooh, okay.
You see that delay? You see that heavy delay?
Sprite got it right there. Looking clean with the Azrael. Taking it 2-0.
Why did they boss walk on him like that? Why did they do that? I had a realization at Frosty's the other day where I was like, sometimes like when you run pressure, it looks like under night pressure every now and then. But I can't lie, the deep walk in just 5A is mad funny. I say aura farming or something of the ilk. I haven't seen enough Northern Line clips to be too poisoned yet, but honestly, that was just a really deep walk 5A, and the fact that it was at counter hit too means that Sprite like managed to time it super exactly on the press, which was very funny to see.
Yeah, sometimes it really just be like that. You press the button at the exact moment. It's like, you know, when you see the two players just staring each other down, and then y'all finally decide to press, but you're just the one that's too late.
I hate that because I'm always wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
I look at people in the eye and I'm like, all right, great. Surely they're not going to do this. Me, the clever, super duper smart person, will get it done and press here. And then naturally, that is the exact like 3 milliseconds earlier is when somebody presses, and then I get counter hit, and I'm like, okay, I'm just worse. I have to hold that. It's rough. It's really rough.
But yeah, good stuff to Spritecranberry taking that first round. This bracket is running pretty smoothly at this point, and we will be going to round 2 now, I believe, as we're going to be watching Adroth versus ValkyrieKoji. ValkyrieKoji going to be on the Izanami, Adroth on the Susano. And honestly, I don't think I've seen these two players play.
It's been a long time since I've seen these two guys play. Dang, I can't remember the last time. At least I saw them. Like, I don't think this is like super uncommon, but I think it might have been like a while.
Yeah, I mean, these two players play a lot, so I'm sure they've run into each other at some point, but I've just never seen it on a stream before.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1.
But this matchup, put it this way, the Izanami's neutral sucks for Susan, and I'm very curious to see how Adroth wants to maneuver around it. Koji is pretty well known for having relatively panicky defense, so there are going to be a lot of times in which Koji is going to be willing to slug it out. Now against Adroth, of course, that is very dangerous, given his willingness and ability to just confirm something nonsensical damage. Speaking of, though, that's a really good slide from Koji there. I'm kind of surprised that Adroth went for the 4D. But I really think, whoa, what a good jump on the command grab too! Oh my god, I would have.
Yeah, that was huge for Adroth. I saw the ribcage come out, and I was like, what is Adroth going to do to answer this? And
oh
Adroth,
my god!
what a perfect. Wait.
There's like 3 things that we can talk about here, but right now Adroth is eating the stuffing out of Koji. So while he kills her, I'm just one moment here. That double JA confirmed to JD to hit reverse and keep Izanami in the corner is actually bananas. Like that's actually really crazy. I've not seen a student do that.
I have not
that is
either.
really, really good awareness.
You learn something new every day, or you watch something new every day. Adroth really showing that top tier awareness with his character, and now he has the ValkyrieKoji stuck here in the corner. Yeah, DP unlocked, so he's going to have that on defense. Unlocks the orb as well to get this pressure
He's holding
going.
north.
Tricky.
Salty, he's holding north. That's why he's gonna get. Hold on a second. Okay, you don't side swap here. But you get okay OP. It's not great. Okay, now that OP got a lot worse. All right, you hold the ball, but who cares? Ribcage is depleting. Look at the barrier gauge. It's gone, Koji. It's gone.
20% damage. We got a great start here for Adroth. Yeah, that's good expert up there.
All right, there's no thoughts necessary. I'm currently watching a god of destruction render the god of death apart. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and that's one of the really tough things about playing Izanami into Susanna if you're not keeping track of your ribcage. While it can be a very potent defensive and offensive tool for Susanna because he doesn't really have a ton of answers for it. I mean, most characters don't really have an answer for it. You know, once you have that barrier gauge depleted and you didn't manually uninstall out of that stance there, then, you know, Susanna, known for hitting hard, hits even harder as we get those,
I'm going to steal uninstall for a completely different way in which you are saying it.
Go ahead.
We'll get to that. We'll get to there when we get there. Okay, right now we're still at neutral here, but again, like one of the big things with Izanami in general is her neutral control just through the usage of bits. Koji will frequently slide into bits in order to stay like plus, which is fine, but again, like Izanami can get so much out of just constricting Susan. And one of the big things that Adroth does in this matchup right now is that he's just really patient. Like he finds a good conversion and then he'll immediately try to like get reasonable Oki and then just pressure solid. You know, Adroth has really, really good routing. You know, we can talk about that to death, but I think his patience and willingness to just like play out scenarios here is working out very well. Koji, on the other hand, I think like his awareness of resources is a little off in some cases, where like he's not recognizing when his barrier gauge is depleted, so you'll see some of like the whiff gauge attempts, which leads like Koji into putting himself in a danger state right here, where Adroth really just gets to kind of do like a whole create a combo sequence. No matter what, it's a lot of extra damage with Susanoo, who's already super front loaded. At the very least, you know, we see the burst gauge come back on for Koji, so there's some solid chances, but right now it's just been very dominant for Adroth.
Yeah, if we were a little bit paying a little more attention to those to that barrier gauge as well, it could have made Adroth spend resources like OD if he wanted to secure that kill in that single combo. So just depleting Adroth of resources is incredibly important right now, because right now he is snowballing with his advantage in the air throw to keep in the corner. He's going to be unlocking all of the special moves off of this hit, find the DP unlock, trying to find another hit, but multiple trades for most of the players, and now we're setting back to neutral.
Good awareness from Koji for recognizing the fuzzy scenario there and opting for that guess on blocking high. That's very good. All right, that's probably meant to be an OD from Adroth, but still, getting that hit is fantastic. Koji doesn't necessarily need to aggress. Adroth finding yet another hit. He's been able to pin down Koji's movement pretty solidly here. Oh my god, that was almost very dangerous. Barrier gauge is gone again though, and this is very, very, very risky for Koji. I cannot understate it. Like, you could see Adroth just get a random hit, doesn't need to be counter hit, and you will see Koji have the first here. Speaking of counter hits though, slide into connecting. I wonder if Adroth was trying to dial in like an anti or what. 15 seconds left on the clock. Salty, we're not going to see a timeout, are we?
It could be a possibility. Both these players are shuffling around the screen. Adroth finding a hit.
We're not going to see a timeout, are we?
Getting tech.
We're not going to see Susanoo timeout at Izanami, right?
Adroth needs a throw right now if you want to.
We're not going to see Susanoo timeout Izanami, right? Extra 8 seconds applied to the clock. A random 6C, but a DP connect. Not in fact see a timeout.
We did not. That would have been pretty absurd to start off our night with a timeout on a timeout on Koji with the Susanoo. Not something I think I've ever seen. Maybe we'll see it one day.
Can I tell you something?
What's up?
I gotta tell you something. I gotta tell you. It's not a secret.
Okay.
I am a sick man. I love playing characters with bad neutral and timing out people that are playing characters with good neutral.
I'm aware.
It's a sickening pleasure.
You didn't tell me that. I'm aware of that.
Oh damn. Yo, stop knowing things about me. Damn. Don't do that. Don't do that. The whole thing of it, dog. You gotta understand. You know that tweet from the Kill Sage where it's like, I need that money, I gotta waste it on stupid things constantly? Yeah. That's the feeling I get. I'm like, man, that sucks for you, big dog. I just beat you and timed you out, and this character's neutral sucks. I love doing that. But again,
what do they call that nowadays? Gap? Is that what they say?
Hate that. Don't no, forbidden.
I hate that word too.
I will never say it. So why did you say it?
The brain warning.
Why did you say it if you hate it? You don't gotta say it if you hate it.
It's
Love
just
yourself.
simple as.
Love yourself. Don't say it if you hate it.
You're right.
I'm messing with you. But let's talk about a couple things going on before we get this match with Remains and Kets. As we mentioned a little bit beforehand, you know, our offline monthly is going to be on March 15th. Again, that's only like 2 weeks. It's going to feature our usual games: CF, Grand Blue, Melty Blood, Uni 2, Strive, Rev 2, Sailor Moon S, Plus R, etc., etc. We'll talk a little bit more about it after some good old 9 versus Susanoo action here.
And this is yet another rough matchup for Susanoo. 9 with giant normals filling up the screen. And I mean, you can see it right there. It can be very hard for Susanoo to approach. Slow dash, startup. Not great approach options against a character like 9, but once he does get in, it can be suffocating for her because she needs to spend those stocks to get access to her DP, for example.
Yeah, in some cases it can be a little awkward, but you know, again, there is a lot of neutral control that this character can work with. One thing that Remains does sometimes, and I've talked to him personally on this before, sometimes I hate pulling the, like, I can call them that because I know them personally card, but oh my god, that air throw was actually insane. We'll just skip whatever dialogue I was doing right there because I'm genuinely confused at how Susanoo air threw in front of Amethyst and didn't get hit. Oh, that's death, by the way. Oh no, didn't have spin unlocked. Oh my god,
not quite there, but that throw will be enough. Yeah, I mean, once he was able to get in, Remains struggled a little bit on that defense, and then, you know, Susanoo just does so much damage that you only need a few hits to actually make this work. Oh, there it is, solid anti-air.
That's really, really good. 5v 3C doesn't land both hits, but still manages to get the JC in order to block that down. Big initial hit again. This is going to be about 4K, not probably 2.6. Yeah, looking around there. OD comes out, but there's not really too much that Kets has to worry about. He's very willing to press here, and I cannot blame him. This should be death here. Spins available, but oh, probably didn't trust the meter game there. Maybe the Paration was high, but the bait on the CA. Nice IAD to check that from Remains.
That was a much stronger round going to Quetzalcoatl. I mean, Remains was just unable to play his game right there. Immediately got locked into the corner and then just had to face Quetzalcoatl with all those special moves unlocked immediately.
Yeah, it's like watching somebody eat a pie from the bomb making factory, and then you're like, okay, well, you're fine, and then you realize, oh, they're bombs. But to put it in a bit more of a serious manner, a lot of the ways in which Kets' offense is working out, or the reason why he's able to transition into offense pretty consistently, is his ability to catch Remains out in neutral. 9 is one of those characters where, like, while the teleport is fantastic, mind you, oh god, level 2 tackling and DP unlocked, which are pretty solid, but Remains has some good control over here. The big thing for Remains right now is to just move solidly around Susanoo, and he doesn't necessarily need to overextend, right? The positioning for 9 and the ability to walk on 9 is really, really important for, like, keeping towards a good position and then burying your super jump options here. There's a lot of meter available for Kets. We could see an early CA. Lots of meter for Remains as well. I do like the increased patience there, but he ends up letting Kets run in for free, despite the fairies getting set up. No DP coming out here. That leveled up tackle is going to lead to a conversion, making Remains want to burst. Jesus Christ! Okay, we're just hitting 6B.
Draw overhead again.
This is probably DRC if the brain talks. You got a reversal super. That is baitable!
And Quetzalcoatl taking that round away from Remains. A much slower round going to Quetzalcoatl. I really like the patience. And what I really liked about Quetzalcoatl's play as well is that he'll run in and just block, right? and force remains to spend those spells like Tonight, which, you know, are one of the best ways for Remains to reset pressure, start pressure, and mix you up.
Another 60. Remains has been having a hard time blocking that. Oh god, he's in the fuzz. Alright, burst is available. He's likely gonna burst immediately with the next hit. Oh, OD comes out instead. The EA will work out, triggering that active flow. Might not be able to make use of the extra damage, but just getting out of the corner and trying to establish some presence is very, very necessary for him here.
I like how Quetzalcoatl actually jumped into the Amethyst right there, just to make sure that you're not going to be eating a mix-up and you're stuck there in the air, you're blocking all of it. Quetzalcoatl keeping the pressure going. There's the spin, catching your Remains on the head, but unfortunately not able to fully finish the combo, but will be catching Remains on that low as Quetzalcoatl moves on through the bracket, taking out Remains.
Yo, let him out. Did you see that jail sequence on like on catching the jump out by Kets?
That
I saw Nine the Phantom in the air for much longer than I thought was possible. Well, that's a lie actually, but I saw her in the air blocking for much longer than I thought was possible, feasible, or otherwise well, commonplace. I think that was a really, really cool sequence there. Frankly, I'm just surprised by it. Again, one thing that was really, really cool from Kets that we got to see in that last like 20 seconds was you saw him just stand on the right side of the screen, not even really doing much, right? Like Remains got out of the corner, which was really good for Remains, right? And then Kets was just kind of like, yeah, I got the life lead, so okay, and just stood there very patiently, willing to find an opportunity to engage. And then he picked a really good timing on running in to immediately start pressing on Remains. I think it's really, really important to understand the fluctuating game state. Like, when you have a life lead like that, with the timer where it's at, you don't need to engage. But if you find an opportunity, it's nice to run risk-averse pressure to force your opponent into certain options. And I think that Kets did a very, very good job of that. We're going to see a very different set coming up here. This is going to be KILLAKOB3S versus Adroth. I know it's a lot of Susan. It's Adroth, it's Kets, it's Icecool.
There's a lot of bang as well, as Kobe will be our second bang on the stream.
Yeah. Don't worry. We will see different matches soon, or a few different characters soon. But you'll have to give it a little bit of time for the rest of the bracket to follow along.
Oh, Master CJ isn't in here. So we do not have 3 bangs, but we do have, like you said, 3 Susanos to look forward to. And I'm sure they all have a great chance of making it to top 8, though only one is going to be moving on to Winner's Side top 8 here, as this is a qualifier to get into that point. And of course, making it to that top 8 is incredibly important, because with a burst limit, if you're unsure of how everything works around here, each placement is given 8 point total that is rewarded at the end of the tournament here. And first place obviously going to be giving you the most points with 100 points, and second, third, fourth, all diminishing. So it's really important to get into top 8, especially winner side, because that confirms that you at least get a 5th place placement to get you further onto the leaderboard, because at the end of this burst limit season, everyone's going to be thrown into a top cut bracket where they're going to be fighting it out to get a free trip to Boston Blue Beach episode. So look forward to that. You're talking about big BlazBlue events. That's going to be one of the big ones to look out for later in the year.
Yeah, beach episode is going to be really, really awesome. We had amazing turnout last time. We had a really good time. Honestly, I ran myself ragged. We can talk about that later. But for the time being, we have here Bang versus Susanoo, and we've seen Kobe up against Susanoo countless times before. This is not an unfamiliar matchup. These players have fought each other numerous times. Neither of them are unfamiliar to the other. So again, you know, there's a lot of history here. Right now, though, Kobe opting for a bit of 6D. Command grab's going to look good. Doesn't decide to spend the meter in order to convert off of it, but the low 2A will indeed connect on Adroth. Maybe looking for a fuzzy jump opportunity there, or guessing an overhead, but awkward drop here does result in a pretty decent scramble. This should be the round for Kobe as he goes into super here.
Yeah, and Bang really thrives in the scramble, especially against characters like Susanoo, who in mid-range may not have as fast as buttons to contest against other characters, especially Bang being as fast as he is. Very big buttons though to fill up the screen, but unfortunately in scrambles he can struggle a little bit more. So it's really going to come down to how Adroth, I would say, actually just keeps Kobe from, you know, moving around in the air so much, kind of swatting him out, whether it's with your air normals to contest him at the right points, or using that big anti-air that Susanna has available because of that big to the side.
Oh, that was such a unfortunate burst that did not become a newspaper article. Wow. Okay. 60. CT wants to make sure that he gets all the seals here. Tries to go for the seal jump into the 2A there. Oh my goodness gracious God. There's that overdrive here. No meter necessary. That is going to be a clean Susanoo.
Yeah, and you were talking about Kobe having played against a lot of Susanos, a lot of Adroth, and right now, Kobe is on top of his game. If you're, actually, no, everyone here is aware. Yeah, Kobe plays against Icecool all the time, locals, so gets a lot of experience from some of those top players. Adroth though has, I would say, a pretty different play style from Icecool. A little more aggressive, not as patient, but I do think that does help a little bit in the main matchup if you get turns right.
Oh God, that's a lot of instant blocks there. Look at all the meter Kobe's getting just from blocking. Mind you, Kobe hasn't landed a single hit against Adroth, literally up until now. The meter gain you get from instant blocking is actually quite absurd. And for Bang, you know, again, his ability to double super, the places in which he might want to RC, and Kobe's willingness to CT, like, he gets to cycle through these resources pretty quickly. Speaking of which, though, that nail count is looking a little bit low. If Adroth manages to survive a lot of this sequence, we could see neutral panning out to be a little differently there. That's 2 seals to go, but Kobe's still managing to get some big hits here. He's going to drop it all on the umbrella. He does tend to like to do that when he's low on nails. Now, things are a bit awkward, but Adroth being double jump. Bang has 4 seals, which means you're going to get command grabbed.
Yeah, that's rough. Kobe, great awareness, using that super there. Nothing Adroth could have done in that moment as Kobe checkmated him. Now Kobe on set point over Adroth. We're just tussling around in neutral. We do have all of our nails restocked. Not going to be spending any of them yet. Just kind of make Adroth chase after him.
Yeah, rather surprising. There are a lot of games in which Kobe just like takes a book from Fist and just spends all of his nails in his first like 40 seconds. And if somebody is near dead and dying on the floor, it works out well. And it's not the case, things can get a little tricky. But 10 skills to work with is still pretty good. Nice pressure adjustment from Adroth, recognizing the 6D proc and then opting to delay the 2A slightly to catch the teleport. Couple of barriers. Adroth trying to find an opportunity to mash, but gets stuffed by Kobe here. Oh, weird mix-up opportunity. I like the delay tech from Adroth there, just to probe for the scenario here. OD on the 6C is going to cause something dangerous to occur though. But the cancel into orb! He can't just cancel that into orb. That's so smart from Adroth.
I completely forgot that was an option.
We're gonna run around. We're gonna run around a lot. We're gonna run around a lot. You're gonna see it. You're gonna get this man off. You right? Thank you. Don't see it yet. He's gonna be. I swear to God, he's gonna look for the CA.
Kobe can't kill with this combo. Not gonna be gaining enough meter here. Adroth still has a little bit more left to live.
He's below 35%. The passive meter gain is actually going off really crazy here. The umbrella might not lead to much, but it's the fact that he gets to get a little bit more meter over time for whatever conversion he wants. Pops it on the super, and that will be 2-0 Kobe.
Yeah, Adroth blocked the overhead, but that low came immediately, and Adroth was not ready to swap back to crouch blocking, and that was at the end of him as Kobe moves on. But honestly, a pretty darn good defense, a pretty darn good round from Adroth. That first game wasn't looking too great in his favor, but he really starts to make some nice adaptations and start to contest Kobe a lot more. And like you said, that pressure adjustment as well, recognizing the proc and then going for that 2A was, I mean, that's just matchup awareness at the end of the day.
Yeah, I couldn't really point to. I couldn't point to what like specific decisions were necessarily like gutting or what have you. It really did feel that Kobe just had like a lot of momentum and managed to sweep Adroth away before he had the chance to respond back. But again, sometimes that's how it is. And Adroth is still in this bracket. Again, it's winner side, but you don't want to get set to loser side in this bracket. It sucks. I'm just gonna put it that way. It's very much so doable, but it is not ideal.
Yeah, honestly, that's just the story of every single BlazBlue bracket nowadays. The consistency of these brackets are insane, so you're always seeing the same players at every single bracket. And I mean, just dropping down to the losers is always rough because of the power level of all these players. I mean, honestly, a good half of them, I would say, can probably just make top 8s at regular majors every now and then. I mean, we got Kobe, we got Playguy in here, Icecool, Dawn, Quetzalgoatl, the list goes on. Just Tomato as well. All capable of making top 8s at majors. So, like you said, dropping down to losers, not ideal, but you still have one more chance in the bracket to make something work. And we're going to be seeing another Susanna on the stream. Man, we really like Susanna around here.
The 3 big Susans, man. The 3 big Susans.
We're cycling through all of them here. I mean, we could have watched Fuzzama versus Ryukasim, or we could have watched Dawn versus Quetzalgoatl.
Hey, we're gonna see them. We're gonna see them.
We are? Okay.
Eventually. Look, we got plenty of time tonight. Okay, you can't rush the main event. You gotta let it build up a little bit.
You're saying this is not the main event right now?
I'm not saying that. The main event is like the top 3. This is this as a non-main event is still pretty wild. You know, this is giving main event, but it's not. You understand what I'm saying? What color is this in reference to? I'm actually mad that I don't know. You're trying to TRM arc in there. I hate that. I hate it. I look at people walking, I'm like, this is the most TRM of TRM setups, and then my barrier flashes and I'm bricked up. I hate it, dog. It sucks. You're watching somebody like slowly approach you, and you're like, okay, surely he throws here, and then they don't, and they're still walking, and you're like, okay, well, it looks like he forgot, and then you see the big red, and you're like, ah.
My bad.
I'm an idiot today.
The game just yells at you once you do a TRM. They're like, nope, not happening today, buddy.
This game tells you a lot. This game snitches on you like crazy. It's mad funny to me. The game will be like, yeah, that was a low. Why were you floating jumping, etc.
It's so crazy going from like Under Night to this game because like Under Night doesn't really tell you. You just kind of have to know. But in this game, it's like, yeah, you definitely made a mistake there, and everyone is going to know.
Yeah, Under Night, it's... Oh my god, that's another TRM over here. I'm not too sure what Playguy... I guess Playguy was expecting me to throw, but in this scenario, it's like if somebody's willing to TRM to this degree, then I can't lie to you. Like at that point, I start either moving north, or it's time to like do a few delay mashes on pressure sequences just to check them for it. Because at a certain point, you just gotta trust your reaction a little more.
Yeah. Oh, and the barrier pushing him out so much. Playguy not landing that hit, wasn't able to cancel it. And now Icecool getting thrown by Playguy, has Blumir in the tank. Playguy also has Blumir as well.
He actually gave up on throw, I think. There's that. That's the only reason why he throws there. I'm telling you right now. I swear to God, if I see Icecool walk up and then just do spin to kill Playguy in this set, I'm gonna start laughing. The Astro's coming out very quickly though, and that's a pretty damn good confirm. Finding the hit there, and then you just immediately opt for AD cancel to simplify it as much as possible.
Yeah, and at that point too, Playguy barely just got that burst back. So instantly recognizing that, like, you know what, I'm just gonna lock you out of the game. I have a 100 meter, I can just Astral, and that's exactly what Icecool did. So we didn't have to worry about any drops or whatsoever as we go into this next game. That was a pretty good first 2 rounds going to Icecool. Playguy didn't really have much going on into that final round where he did get that bait on the DP, was finally able to run his offense, but at the same time, that barrier really killed Playguy at the end.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good barrier on the side of Icecool. Like, I'm looking at Playguy like get pushed out, and the ways in which like he feels forced to end pressure like early. Like all of these IBs, like after the 5C, he's already getting pushed out so far, and it really feels like Playguy just does not know how to extend offense or how to like beat like some of the defensive play from Icecool here. I'll talk about some of the potential counterplay to that as the set goes on, but right now Playguy at least starting to mount some offense here. Caught with the delay 5As just a little bit. Oh, you just did. 6B, expecting the approach. You are bold, sir. Burst coming out here from Play Guy. That could go disastrously. It could be bad, but we'll see what the momentum brings here. DP is unlocked for Icecool. Oh, you are just 6B. Oh, you just believe in yourself. That's dangerous.
60 lands, good block on the over. Play Guy using the CA, getting out of that pressure, putting Icecool back into the corner. Icecool finding the hit with the 5C into the OD. 100 mirror on the table.
I don't know what combo to kill here. I'm genuinely not too sure.
No, it
There's a lot of damage. That's a charged CT. He was in active flow for a portion of it, but he's not in active flow yet. Ragna health, it's just barely not killing. And he, once again, this guy just love to walk up on each other at this point. This is crazy work. Lots of 60s coming out here from Play Guy. Ooh, Icecool ended up biting at the last second, letting Play Guy take that round.
Sticking out the 5, he catching Icecool. Great confirm going from Play Guy. And now Play Guy getting his first round of the set so far. The JC on the drop down catches Icecool on the approach. Icecool stuck into the corner, eating this Ragnar pressure. And Play Guy going for a lot more of these resets than normal because he does not really want to get pushed so far back like he was before.
Run under 6B. These guys are devious out here. I get that there's points on the line, but my god, it's dangerous. This is some pretty extended pressure from Play Guy. You gotta just mash your DP at this point. You can't just let him run whatever you want. While it is dangerous to mash and all that stuff against Uzno, like you have to show a willingness to mash. You have to show a willingness to DP. Again, Ragnar DP is really good. In worst case scenario, you know, CA is always there. But it really does feel like Play Guy is a little nervous of some of the Icecool action. Oh, see will come out right there. I wish I predicted that one specifically, but let's just say that I did for the sake of it. Bro?
The timing was close enough. The DPRC, Icecool running under to get this corner steal. Now 5A, 5A. DPRC, there it is. Called it.
You can't let them pressure on you for free. You know, now naturally we're gonna start to advance into the next layer where Icecool might do some 5A, 5As and then, you know, delay true string and all that jazz. We'll talk a little bit about some of that stuff in a moment. These guys are hopping and jumping around. 15 seconds left on the clock. I don't know if this is going to go down to a timeout. Oh my god. The JC 5B ends up connecting. I think Icecool got hit so quickly and so unexpectedly, he didn't even have time to just burst out.
At the end there, it really just looked like Play Guy was playing the Fuzzama matchup for a second. It was like random JCs in the air trying to wall out Icecool right there.
Fuzzama matchup, Ragnar's right hand of the forbidden one.
You're right, JA.
That JA, you look at that hitbox, you're like, oh, it's so unassuming. And then he hits you from like 3 meters away, and I'm like, oh, my fault.
It's so funny. It's like the random JAs in the air, and the Fuzzama player like, surely I can approach Ragnar. No, nobody. That's the big stop sign.
Ragnar's got a lot of stop signs. All on his A normals, honestly. 5A, JA, no. Nice throw tech there. Not biting to some of the TRMs, which again, we were talking so much about TRMs in the oh, that's a good, but that's too slow. Did he run up jab? That's a crazy trade.
Nice. Play goes to the air dash. Good confirm from Play Guy into the throw, back throw as well. That's going to be the corner steal.
Oh my god. He messed up the confirm, but he still ended up picking up into a very Bob Ross-esque happy little reset and got the burst out of Icecool. Cross up DP does not work out. You are bursting here. You are not the hero of Valkyrie. You are dying with no burst. That's Ragnar the Blood Edge.
Rebel 2.
That's bad. No. That sucks. That really sucks going through this next round. Actually, like that's kind of awful.
Well, that first pitch is a 6B, catches Play Guy trying to press with the 2B.
Sword unlocked as well. That's going to be a lot of extra damage on the Rambu super. Jailed up. Oh, he might have tried to cross under there. That is so crazy. I don't even know how to describe what just happened, but he managed to... These guys both swap sides on each other like several times in a very, very truly anime sequence here. This is going to be decent damage here. That's a lot of health back for Play Guy, but again, all could be rent asunder with a simple counter hit. But right now, it really does feel like Play Guy wants to run his game currently. Getting the active flow is going to be nice for that burst gauge, but is it going to come back in time, or is Icecool going to be able to kill him beforehand?
I don't think
should
so.
have OD.
Dropping the combo early. Icecool trying to reset into that throw mix up. A Play Guy has his hands on the steering wheel, catches it. And now we're back in neutral. Play Guy finds the hit with a chase. He into the OD, blocking Icecool out of the burst. And this should be Play Guy's round.
No, it's not enough. It's not enough. That combo was bad. That combo was bad. Oh, I'm lying!
I was like, buff OD damage.
I thought it wasn't enough. Okay, OD Devoured by Darkness is bad damage, but I was like, wow, there's no active flow, and this combo might be cheats, but you know what? Sometimes I'm just wrong, though. Oh, Play Guy waited after that tackle because he was expecting tackle in the DP. There are times in which Icecool plays very, very belligerently out of the cut, and I think Play Guy was expecting a moment of that there. Didn't end up occurring, so they kind of like had a minor stare down, but this knockdown right here for Icecool is looking pretty good. He's not going to be able to cash out on him damage-wise with active flow, but if this round lasts long enough, he's going to have OD damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that he is at 7 pips, Play Guy is not going to be able to finish him before that burst comes back unless we get really lucky. And Icecool is known for having an incredible defense and putting up against all this pressure. That Play Guy is presenting the anti-air, catching a Play Guy, and Play Guy has burst available. Are we going to spend it? I don't think so. It is the end of the combo.
He's not going to die off of this. This combo doesn't kill, but he's trying to set up for a crazy mix here. I think Play Guy is probably going to twitch and burst here, but OD here potentially could be good. We'll see how it goes. That might have been a DP input that whiffed. Oh no! That's a humongous drop. Icecool is expecting a CA, so he jumps off the jump he backs off of the jump cancel. Play Guy's in danger state. This is like as crazy as it can get. He cannot jump into the air at all. He wanted to maybe look for a CA opportunity, but ends up getting counter hit in the process. Okay. There's a lot to dissect here. I'll take a quick moment here. Again, that was a really cool end to the set. I'm not gonna lie. That was kind of wild, yeah.
That it was. Man, that drop.
That one,
man,
that's a killer. That's a heartbreaker. That's a heartbreaker. Ain't no other way to put it.
The amount of times I'm putting my faith into Play Guy that he can finish a combo, he always.
You know, sometimes these things happen, and it's very unfortunate. I hadn't even realized Play Guy was put into danger state until like last minute, which made everything else very crazy. I think at the very end, he probably got counter hit because he maybe was looking for a CA opportunity there, but there are times in which you block a move with low block stun, and before you even realize what had happened, like, and you were like, oh, okay, like, I'll just CA here, that's a committal normal. Sometimes you exit block stun, and then your 6A plus B input ends up becoming crush trigger because you're in neutral. That might have happened there, I'm not too sure, but that resulted in a very, very crazy sequence there. Before we move on a little bit with the top 8, just want to talk about a few other things that were going on. We talked about the burst limit weeklies. We didn't get to talk too much about Beach episode. Again, I want to remind y'all, our regional's coming back up again. It's going to be in July, so July 18th through the 20th. Same place as last year. It will be in Waltham, Massachusetts. Very nice hotel. There's some food options in the area. There's some sleeper hits. There are a few sleeper hits in the area, and I will see if we can talk about them a little bit at some point down the line. Again, Beach episode's gonna have a ton of games. It's gonna be very, very fun. CF, Strive, Granblue, Plus R, Rev 2, Uni 2, Sailor Moon S, Melty Blood, Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, and we've got Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. I don't know if y'all have been on the beta. That game is looking pretty crazy. I can't front.
I didn't play much of the beta, unfortunately.
You didn't? Oh, that sucks. I was labbing a bunch of Ogre this weekend, but I played a little bit of City
that makes
of the Wolves.
sense. Yeah, a lot of great fighting games, getting a lot of great content updates just in time for a Beach episode later this year. So go ahead and sign up there on the link on the slide, start.gg/beach. And there's the hotel reg as well, hotelreg.com/BostonBlueBeat. I know I'm going to try to make it there. If I can't, I'm going to be tuning in. And other things that you should be tuning into as well is the Boston Blue Beat monthly, going to be taking place on March 15th. going to be in Boston, Massachusetts, as always. And you're going to be seeing all of the great games that will also be at the Boston Blue Beach each episode. As you have BlazBlue Centralfiction, Under Night in Birth, Guilty Gear Strive, as well as Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. That'll never not be a mouthful. Melty Blood Actions Again, Guilty Gear XX, Guilty Gear Xrd, and of course, Sailor Moon S. So go ahead, tune in to the stream if you're not in the area. But if you're in the area, go to the premier Boston Blue Beat Monthly and throw some hands, throw some buttons, and have a good time.
Yeah, just don't throw your controller. That'd be bad. Don't throw the controller. You can press buttons, throw hands, not controllers. You understand? It's kind of the fish are friends, not food.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
some of those controllers get very expensive. And you know what? If I throw my controller, specifically the dragon, the Comba Dragon, I'm more scared for the floor than I am for that controller.
Are you advertising this controller right now?
No, I'm just saying that is very heavy, and when I play with it, it cuts the blood flow on my legs.
That's not good. That's not
No,
good
it's
for
not
you.
good.
Please take care of yourself, man. Oh my god.
I love that thing though, man. But yeah, no, I'm more scared for the floor. So yeah, please don't throw your controllers. Don't show up onto a FGC rage comp. That's not a position you want to find yourself in.
I haven't seen a rage comp for FGC stuff in a long time.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Honestly, it feels like a product of its time.
In a way.
That kind of
In a
stuff
way,
feels like mid 2010s, early 2010s kind of content.
Even then, it's still like you could look at like old NLBC clips of like Marvel 3. That game, I can understand how that game would get somebody infuriated though. That's a demonic game.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm not built for it. I am not built for it whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's crazy watching that game. As someone who is not familiar with Marvel, I just know, like, oh yeah, if you get hit, you die. And I remember I was watching Frosty's, it was like grand finals for Marvel this year. And this guy literally was like on a pixel of life left, only one character left, and the other guy had, I think he also had like one character as well. But he was at like full health, and like, no way he's gonna die off this single like low jab confirm or whatever. And he does. And I'm like, yeah, I would be mad too.
It's something else.
I could not survive in that game.
Yeah. By the way, folks, we're good to go. So do what y'all gotta do. Don't worry about it. But again, it should be a lot of fun. I will say that the monthlies are a very good and chill vibe. There are plenty of times in which like I'm typically the kind of person that just wants to mash all day and then just leave. But there are times where even if it's just like the weeklies over here in New England where like you just kind of like you chat, you shoot the shit with a bunch of people, you pop in for tournaments and all that jazz. It's a very friendly environment. And you get the opportunity to talk to a lot of people and try out a bunch of different games. So it's very, very nice. This is going to be a very, very violent set. These guys are going to press buttons. I'm not going to lie. This is a good example of throw hands, not controllers.
Yeah, no, this is going to be probably, honestly, might just be the fastest matchup of this set in terms of actions per minute. Fuzzama going to be flying across the screen with all these chains and trying to control the pace of the game, but you can only control the pace of the game so much when you're playing against a character like Bang, who can dominate so much of the screen with those nails and also with his incredible movement. We're going to be seeing that early OD pop coming in from Fuzzama. It's not going to really do too much outside of steal a little bit of life away from Kobe as he's trying to open up Fuzzama. And in that effort, Fuzzama catches him and tosses him into the corner instead.
Okay. Wake Up Super is looking good, but again, the big thing is what is the offense that comes up afterwards? 5B surprisingly ends up stuffing Fuzz. A couple of hits later, things are looking a bit crazy. Actiflow is available. I don't think Kobe's gonna pop OD quite just yet. He wants to go for one final mix here. Trying to look for a hit. Maybe cross. I don't even know if that crossed up truthfully or if that was under cross-up protection. Either way, Fuzz trying to scramble their way or trying to weasel their way out, so to speak. Finds a chain, unable to confirm into anything substantial here, but quick hit into the JB. Ends up getting Kobe's burst surprisingly here. This is looking very close. Nice block on the 2D here. These guys are in it to win it. Whoa, the B follow-up barely misses. Flash once again, though. If at first you don't succeed,
Yeah, that was a little scary there. I like the idea coming in from Fuzzama though, retreating, tossing out that giant hitbox that provides, and Fuzzama from taking that first round. Very close though, so potentially seeing another close round here as we get into round number 2. Kobe already throwing Fuzzama into the corner, and that's going to be a pretty big lead that Kobe can start to build up if Fuzzama chooses not to spend those resources.
Fuzz is an OD kind of guy.
That's true. And the thing is like, Fuzzama gets so much reward off of that OD, a lot more damage, and also a much stronger defense as well because he does not have access to those DPs or those supers or whatever outside of that.
The big thing is that his whoa, okay, rush trigger counter. That can lead to good damage. Active flow soon to trigger as well. Oh my god.
And there's that.
I got it. Right, super lock out the burst. So, regarding defensive options for Fuzzama, the big thing is that his Hotenjin becomes like actually invul.
Yeah.
That's a really big thing there. It's still like fastest move in the game. It's like 4 frames, is it? Something like that.
I believe so. So it can kind of work as a pseudo DP if you're hard calling out gaps and pressure.
That's what I love to tell Fuzzama players when I meaty them and counter hit them for 1 billion damage. But in all seriousness though, yeah, it's very potent. We've seen Fuzz hit wild confirms and cash out on crazy damage. The kill pressure that Fuzzama exerts on his opponents, it's very hard to understate that. Like just the pure ability to be like, oh, I probably have to burst this now because otherwise, like, I'm just going to die. Or like, oh, I have to play very defensively because if I get tagged, it's going to be a confirm into OD, and I'm going to see Fuzzama off the next.
Yeah, and just straight into the mix-up as well, which Fuzzama has a very potent offense with the stance pressure, with all the stagger pressure that he provides as well. The great tag from Kobe and the chase down in the air, catching Fuzzama on the retreat, being that poison applied, but the great jump is going to bait out that glide from Kobe.
I hate that was so good. Oh, you popping OD? All right. Oh, wow. That sucks. Okay, the charge CT whiffs. This could now be a game, actually. Whiffing that CT could very much so result in Fuzz, like, losing the round here. That's one nail left for Kobe. That's a really good rising JA. Oh, my God. Nice extension as well. It's like, get the corner. Okay. GG ends up triggering. Kobe does not want to spend a nail yet. He wants to wait for a crucial opportunity. Again, not having the nail means that you cannot confirm, so he's trying to find something. But he ends up resetting into command grab. Very close.
Yeah, Kobe knowing that combo would have been tough to actually get that kill because Fuzzama was getting that burst back at that moment. So Kobe resetting that combo early and getting that command grab, catching Fuzzama off guard, extremely smart. And now this is tough for Fuzzama because we spent that OD early on and Kobe is going to run down that timer.
And mind you, the big thing that led to this entire sequence is Kobe's willingness to just back off in 2v16 to just send the nails out and keep it very risk-averse, but Fuzz didn't react to that, so his OD ends up going to waste, and you see Kobe clean up that next round very quickly. Again, you know, these guys, the games have been fast, but these guys have been like, it's been how should I put it? It's a very high APM, but that does not mean that the rounds are ending in like seconds.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, these characters can have a lot of high damage potential, but they need a lot more confirmed than other characters also. Especially off the hits they do get, right? Like Bang can have a lot of scaling on a lot of the moves that he just tosses out of the
You know, funny enough, this is kind of like this is literally the flip side of last round where Kobe's OD didn't end up leading to too much, while Fuzz managed to get like a pretty big confirm and starts to build up a lead. Now Kobe still can trigger active flow to build back a lot of that back. 6 nails to work with. Things could get a little weird, but active flow should be coming up pretty soon for Kobe. Hops in on the 5B. Doesn't get the confirm on the air hit, but this is still pretty good pressure. Nice blocks from Fuzz.
Alright, Bumper is now on the screen. Kobe should be getting all 4 seals unlocked as well. 50-meter should be available for Kobe to use, and using that final nail for the umbrella, catching Fuzzama maybe trying to up back.
He mashed?
Oh, did he match?
Rebel,
He mashed.
action.
I didn't.
Oh, he mashed.
I think you're right.
He mashed. I'm shocked. Oh my god. Alright, I got it. I hate that. I hate button into command grab. I love doing button into command grab. Sorry, I'm a dirty liar. Hold on a second. This is looking pretty good. This is 3K off command grab? That's actually really good. Whoa! What a good delay cancel on the 5C. ODs, but it's just a 2A that recovers in time. Fuzz has to end Fuzz ends up wanting to play it safe here. Oh, ends up pressing on the drive. One thing that Kobe likes to do is that he's a big fan of like 5D, 60 PD, because you can delay the counter hit for a big hit, and like normally 5D individually. It can get a little wonky with that. Counter assault comes out. This is pretty solid. Oh, Kobe mashed? You mashed there?
Of course he.
I don't understand this. I don't understand this sometimes. Alright, next hit kills for sure, but that's what the... Oh, it's Clash Cancel Super! Why did you think about that so far ahead? I'm so mad. Command grab is what I've been looking for. He's just oh.
Dude, you know he had that in the back of his head that entire interaction before. He's like, you know, I'm gonna do this. I'll wake up. Oh man. Okay.
I'm mad. Why was your first response to? Actually, no, that makes sense. That makes me madder. Damn. So, okay, I gotta explain something real quick. It's actually very funny because I was talking on Discord to a bunch of people about clashing mechanics in different fighting games. So one thing that's really important to note is that when you clash in BlazBlue, you can cancel into your like normals. I forget if you can special cancel off of. Yeah, you can special cancel off.
You can special cancel.
Sorry, I was smoking goof for a moment there. I apologize. You can cancel into your normals. You can cancel into specials. The big thing that the reason why the command grab ended up working out really well, despite it being insane, was the fact that regardless if you're clash canceling, you're typically not thinking about jump canceling after like a clash canceled normal. So Kobe basically put a whole gamble out there and was like, all right, Fuzz is gonna keep like mashing a button and I'm just gonna do this invuln option and it's just gonna hit him. He's gonna die. It's a big gamble to put out there, and you could have very well just lost the game off of that. But again, it's a high risk, high reward option. When it works, it works. And that it did. So it's pretty cool. And again, like, Fuzzama doesn't have any Gatlings that would directly put him into the air except for 6C.
Yeah.
So it would be one of those things, which I believe is still throw invuln, but I'd have to double check some of the properties because it's been a while since the throw invuln of 6C has been.
And honestly, like, that is also a little bit of 4D chess, where it's like, you know, well, I guess not really 4D chess, but you never expect the first reaction of somebody that clashed with a super to jump or be in the air immediately. You probably expect them to press a button to try and do something to punish it or take back your turn or something like that. So in that sense, if you jump there, or if Fuzzama jumped in that situation, that would have been a bit of 4D chess, where like, I know I'm going to be doing this, but it was a bit of a scramble as well that situation created. So it's not easy to think of that in that situation
at all. It is not easy at all. Right now, I haven't seen Dawn all bracket, but he's been punching people.
I feel like that's how it's been with these burst limit brackets so far.
Yeah.
You don't really see Dawn until the very end, or at least until he makes it into the top 8, and Dawn just sweeps the bracket. But right now, Icecool is sweeping Dawn's health bar in this first round. Dawn stuck without any resources, getting a guard crush straight into the throw, and Icecool should be able to build up 50 minutes to get this finish. Maybe.
That's a dead clover right there. There ain't no 4 leaves on that. That's looking like a 3 leaf.
Good job. Getting a
rare find getting
into the super. Looking clean. Icecool with the perfect to start us off, but that might be something that's not going to be lasting too long here for Icecool, as Dawn is known for staying pretty darn consistent.
We'll see. There are times in which, like, sometimes there are like sets in which, like, Icecool just kind of like looks at a player and just kind of like balls them, like, very abruptly. And they're like, oh, okay, I guess they just thought they shouldn't exist, and look at that, you just enforced your will upon the world. Oh, goes low on the fuzzy opportunity there. So if you IB, I believe it's if you IB the two jump-in normals or IBB them, then you can eliminate the possibility to be fuzzy. But because Don didn't end up getting those instant blocks, the overhead option was still available. So he ended up blocking high there, and Icecool naturally ended up going low. And I'm surprised that Icecool got out of this this entire sequence here. I don't recall what normal he did into dual bios. I think it was 6C. Normally, rallies can create like jail sequence off of that CA is actually insane. Ignis was summoned, and then the CA ends up desummoning it. 2C counter, it's gonna work pretty well. Don can side swap here, I believe, or okay, he's gonna take the mid-screen area.
Yeah, it's a chasing Icecool with Doll. Pretty low commitment option there. Once again, Doll locking Icecool down. Icecool trying to backdash on Wake him into the burst, and that has gone baited. Don should just finish off here with that super in the tank.
That is perhaps not the burst you want to do. Yikes. It's really important to note, hey, fun fact, guys, normals which have high hit stun that are jump canceled.
Huh?
I'm gonna say that. I hope to God that was the case. So otherwise, that's bad offer.
Yeah, I feel like we definitely tried to OD and did not expect that gunshot coming in from Icecool on the other side of the screen.
So it goes, man. Oh, that is a depleted Doll. And again, the fact that the OD didn't come out means that Ignis is just depleted. Icecool ended up playing this, ended up playing the neutral pretty patiently, to be honest. Reli's solo normals are nothing to scoff at. There's a reason why Venom play there's a reason why like some of the Venom Zato players like the Zato players like this character. Jesus Christ, the solo buttons. But I'm surprised that Icecool's restrained here. Oh my god, he did another delay walk up 5A. This man is in love with doing that. This damage is going to be good, but again, it's going to be a next hit kill scenario. Too much paration, however. Nice dash under on the downwards drill here. This is looking pretty good. But Don getting this knockdown, this could actually go from, this is a very viable comeback. You can't lie. Getting the burst out of Susan too, fantastic. He's going to see it here. More than likely. Oh no, he tried to fall down with a button here. Burst ends up coming out. Let's see if he tries to go for a quick dual BIOS or not.
That might be a possibility, but not if we get caught by that JA at the end there. Icecool taking it over. Dawn in the first game, much closer second round, much closer third round, my bad. Close that one off, but yeah, no, I mean, right there, Icecool. These run unders have been pretty darn good in these sets so far. It's playing patient until you find that opening, like you said, and then taking advantage of that.
That's a surprising early burst from Icecool there. I feel that in general he's been able to get out of Relius pressure without really spending too much resources, so I'm surprised that he opted to do so here. I didn't really feel like Dawn had gotten like Dawn hadn't really gotten any like 6A hard knockdown or whatever that would normally enable a lot of Relius' mix-ups. You see a few attempts like checking for a CA right there by Icecool with the way that he's stopping pressure a bit suddenly, and some of the delays and the staggers here are also clipping Dawn. Quick meaty throw here as well, and this is a very quick kill. There ain't too much to talk about.
No, not at all. Keeping that simple, getting the wall bounce with the sword. I love that combo, by the way. I love watching it. And it just does so much damage as well. Icecool going to be starting off this next round, unlocking the DP right off the bat, and I love the awareness to full screen, knowing that Relius has those full screen options with the Doll and also the 2 Celes as well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, for Icecool, that's really good to get the DP early against Relius. Right now, it hasn't mattered quite yet, but oh my god, ended up catching the roll with the 2A, just a run-up air throw here. This is going to be solid damage, but again, you got to pay attention to what unlocks Icecool's options here. That's DP, that's spin, and that's sword. That's a lot of neutral control, as well as spin being able to enable. Whoa! I have not seen 6C generate a whip like that. That is genuinely new to me.
Trying to go for a throw, doesn't work out. Icecool backing off, letting Dawn take the screen. Avoids the drill and finds a hit with the 5C. But Dawn going to be bursting that one. Knowing that Icecool taking that game off of it. And the 6C gets front dodged, and there's the dual bios coming out. Now you gotta eat this mix up.
Oh, Gall is dead after this actually. And Icecool manages to escape. Why did 2C hit like that? JB into the immediate DPRC here. Oh my god. What an abrupt end to what otherwise was pretty was a little shaky there, I would say. Again, one of the big things about this whole thing was that at the ending sequence there is that Ignis was going to die after dual bios. So it pretty much meant that Dawn was required almost to find that hit. Otherwise, Ignis was going to be out. It's a lot of neutral tools deprived of Relius. And then suddenly you're in a pretty awkward position where you kind of have to, like, you know, slap him away, right? And Susanoo buttons can definitely outbox a decent amount of Reliuses, or at least they'll result in trades that would have just caused, that would have led to a win on Icecool's part here.
Yeah, especially solo Relius. Those buttons way bigger, control more space, and the reward he gets off those as well is much greater. Especially when Relius, yeah, it doesn't have Doll. He also doesn't get access to some of his best rooting into good screen positioning. So it can be very rough. And also, you mentioned earlier that Susanoo, you know, unlocked the blade, unlocked the spin, unlocked the DP. A lot of his best neutral tools were unlocked early on in the game, so he had those neutral tools later on that he could rely on if things got a little bit scrappy towards the end. But Koji making it top 8. Who did Koji beat? Koji beat Quetzalgoatl to make him to top 8.
Oh, that's quite nice.
And Play Guy beating Oregard. So both these players going to be duking it out in losers round 4 to see who moves on to face off against Fuzzama later on in the bracket. Now, I've seen Koji and Play Guy play before. I think I've seen Koji beat Play Guy before, but I might be mixing my lines a little bit. We'll see how this one ends up shaking out as we play out our intros and get right into it. Round start. Play Guy jump forward and a block. That's a Play Guy special. And immediately Koji setting up those neutral tools like the slide and those bits. But unfortunately, you cannot really slide like that and expect to not get punished if it gets blocked.
Yeah, that's a really good IB from Play Guy there. One thing that's important to note, you don't see this come up super frequently, just because there's, oh my god. Oh, Air Gauntlet Hades not working out. That is just genuinely unfortunate. That confirm would have definitely led to a kill there. Oh, that is really awkward there from Play Guy as well, accidentally getting the CT. Probably wanted the super jump barrier, but likely messed up an input somewhere there. You just double slid without a Karen or Toby. Oh my god. This is going to be pretty solid here, should lead to Ribcage OP as well. Enough health to work with, mind you, if Play Guy were to decide to mash anyway.
That Ribcage is rapidly depleting, and now you're very low on a bear gauge. Still has a little bit left, being a little bit more aware of that gauge this time around, but getting DPRC'd in the face. There's that air throw catching Play Guy though, which can't kill off of this one. This is going to be very heavily scaled, so we're going to be needing one more interaction. Play Guy still has OD and a burst onto the table. We're going to be doing that knockdown into Ribcage OD once again. That's going to prevent the DP on wake up, but the DP will come after that OD activation.
I'm looking at everything flashing on the screen, and I know in my heart of hearts, please hit 63 CP, dog. Oh, there's a JA. Woo! Quick confirm there, but again, it's not about the damage from those scenarios. It's the fact that you're like establishing neutral. You guys are swinging. Oh my god. One thing that's been really good from Play Guy is how he's playing around slide. Koji tends to rely on it quite a bit in neutral, and it's really important to recognize when Izanami has bits, or at least recognize the slide timing so that you can IB and increase the gap between the slide and the bits. Potentially slot in a reversal when Izanami wants to make himself a plus. Like in scenarios like that. Oh god, that's a good hit.
And also just keeping yourself airborne as well can be very important because that slide takes forever for Izanami to recover from. So it can lead to a pretty good neutral positioning afterwards. OD activation into the super. Yeah, that's not going to work out.
It's a funny idea, I can't lie. If it worked, I would have lost a few vocal cords.
No, yeah, I respect it. It was just a little too late. Seeing how the projectile was charged up for a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's one of those scenarios where, like, had Izanami not been charging it, I would have been like, you know what, let it rip if you really want to. Show them what for, but that is not a case in which that ends up working out. At the very least, Playguy does look absolutely undeterred here. Really good fuzz jump by Koji on the 2-6. Nice side swap from Playguy as well. Gonna be a decent knockdown. OD's coming back on for Koji in not but a moment. Let's see. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, that probably would have been dead. Koji opting to burst that one. This is that final opportunity to do something, and a Playguy is going to take all that hope away as Playguy scores a perfect straight into the corner scissors.
Dang, that stagger was so good. Important to note that, like, Koji did not get caught in the middle of that. Like, there were no lows or anything. It was just all mids. But the slight delays on the button presses are usually where people might want to either backdash or try to input a reversal, and therefore they are literally like holding forward and they're not blocking anymore. So being able to make those like true string delayed jabs, super powerful. You see that at a high level from Ragnar very frequently, and in general with characters with good jab pressure. So I just want to note like the way and how Koji got hit. You know, could have been holding north, could have been trying to input some defensive option there, and then just ended up getting caught for it. God, that 5B isn't doing that for 5 frames.
Yeah, we moved right into that 5B as well, just by extending our hurt box by just the tiniest bit.
Oh my god. Just a little too high there. Oh my god, the skull. I swear to god, I feel like Koji sometimes is in the air and he's like, I'm just gonna let the skull rip. And it's been hitting quite a few times at this point. Oki's a little scuffed, but the overhead ends up connecting here. Not enough meter to convert into super, but I mean, what hits he's not. You're gonna have to guess at this point. Just run up command grab, I swear it'll work.
Into ribcage.
I called it. I knew it. I knew it in my heart of hearts. Sometimes you just gotta grip them.
Yep. And yeah, no, you never really expect the command grab. Yeah, no, you really told us there. ValkyrieKoji taking that round away from Playguy yet again, but unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but we're going to be seeing if Koji is able to pull it out.
How high that JA connected. Jesus. Oh my god. Yo, Koji's been fuzzy jumping like almost every single dead spot. Like, that's actually crazy. I feel like either Koji is really like locked in on the timings or is just has a pretty solid understanding. Oh, we can talk about this in a clip. This is like a 20-minute clip that we can discuss that entire interaction in here. Gauntlet Hades with a unusual drop there. I don't know if Playguy wanted to reset there or what, but I'm assuming that he wanted to just finish the round rather than try to look for a knockdown. Cross up ends up connecting here. That's a full berry gauge back, which means we're going right back into ribcage, Oki, or not. Okay, when you get DP, just run up and throw. Oh, the Gauntlet Hades, never mind. There's a reason why my mix wouldn't work there.
Yeah, did opted to not go into that ribcage Oki and might have gotten punished for that. Koji going into this next round, both players with a round on the board. Playguy though on set point. Yeah, just letting that skull rip, maybe trying to catch Playguy on the approach, but Playguy just holding back, not committing to all too much. Instead, just committing to a lot of these JAs to try and catch Koji out of the air.
I'm watching Playguy leap into the air like it's a Super Mario Odyssey like speed run, and he's just triple jumping for his life. Oh my god. Oh, not quite close enough for the 2-2C pickup, but this is fine. Ends up finding another hit regardless. First gauge is back up for Koji. We haven't seen too many defensive ODs, but I wouldn't blame him if he wanted to opt for that here. No air throws from Koji yet. The mash 2A ends up working out, and bursting there is rather surprising. The damage from like a 2A counter hit from Ragnar at mid-screen, it's not really going to lead to much. In fact, Koji ends up placing themselves in a danger state here. Clipped on the roll attempt here. We're going to see the overdrive, and that's going to be the super. No astral needed. Center right back down to hell.
Yeah, that was interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about that final decision from Koji to go straight into the ribcage after burst and then charge up that projectile all the way. Because I feel like we could just like win in and then just start establishing block string pressure and try to actually mix up Playguy, because really all that did was keep him locked down for a little bit and run that ribcage timer all the way down.
Yeah, and again, it's It's something that is a little surprising to me sometimes because there are areas in which like I'll see Koji pop ribcage and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But they will burn all their barrier rather frequently, and I don't see as much overdrive popped in order to cover for it. One mechanic that's really important to note, again, for those that are a little less familiar with the game, is that when you overdrive, you immediately take yourself out of danger state, and you keep whatever amount of barrier gauge you for covered. So the whole thing of it is that, like, you know, if you have like 50% barrier back and you just need it immediately, you can pop OD. You just immediately like take yourself out of it. But we didn't really see Koji do that too much. Like we saw a few more bursts, or we saw like an OD here or there defensively, rather than necessarily using it to extend offense. And we haven't even gotten into Izanami's overdrive, which is super broken. That OD is crazy. I don't know. The way that I always shorthand it is that, like, what if you had a reversal super, right? And then what if you had a reversal super that you could just make plus on command? Like that is the kind of overdrive we're talking about.
Sounds pretty crazy. Okay.
It's a very, very, very good overdrive. But Izanami is privileged in that she gets to afford to burst in certain scenarios and then rely on her excellent neutral play. But when she does have the opportunity to OD, something bad is going to happen, and it's probably not for her.
What would you say are the top three ODs? Top three ODs in the game. Out of curiosity.
That's a really hard question to answer. Okay, let me pull up. I always pull up the dust loop to look.
Because it's always funny too, because you know you always hear opinions from all these players, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's one of the best ODs in the game. That's one of the best ODs in the game. That's one of the best ODs in the game." And now I'm interested to see how you would rank them.
A lot of overdrives are just really good. If you have sorry, let me give the top three and then I'll blab. Top three ODs, I would say Hakumen. I'd probably say Hakumen, Arakune, and Bang off the top of my head. For a variety of reasons.
I think I like that you mentioned Hakumen's OD, because Hakumen's OD is like one of the few ODs in the game where it rarely feels like it was a bad decision. Because you can kind of just pop it, and then it always works out for the Hakumen player.
Yeah, so to me, the hallmark of a good overdrive is like, what are the places in which when can you pop the overdrive and when does it make sense? Like, how useful is it in general? What are the benefits that you get from it? And like, what are the benefits you get from it, right? Like, for example, that's why characters with resources, their overdrives are always good, because you hit A plus B plus C plus D, difficult equation, and suddenly you see your number go up and you're like, oh, okay. Like Izayoi pops OD, goes into normal mode, and then you look at her get 4 stocks after like twiddling her thumbs, and you're like, huh, I have to deal with this now. And then she mixes it for like 20 minutes. Yeah. So on and so forth, right? I'll yammer on a little bit more about overdrives in general, but probably within this set, because this being Adroth and it's MrStealYoSouls ShadyPun. These two characters have quite good ODs in general, and we might get the opportunity to explore why that's the case. But right now, Adroth is just trying to punch this snake as much as possible.
Yeah, you want to immediately lock down Fuzzama, keep him from just running around the screen playing at his own pace. Fuzzama is one of those characters where, you know, you just play lame. That's kind of how you play this character. Jump back, toss out those chains, poke and prod at the other player, and force them to make a response that forces that where they make a mistake and then you take advantage of it. And right now, ShadyPun might have made a little bit more mistakes that I think he would have liked. Pretty low on health right now, but is starting to play this game once again, finding the overhead with the 6B straight into the Hotenjin. That's going to be a solid combo for Shady. Or we're just going to
just look for a burst off of a 6A Hotenjin starter?
Yeah.
Hold the big man right in front of you, just hit him. If he pops up again, I cannot say it enough. You look at, whoa! Okay. I was not expecting Command Grab Super at all. Neither did I realize that Command Grab Super's involved with cause it to beat CA like that. That's actually really cool. Okay, I was hating a little bit, and I might still hate afterwards, but I gotta say that was real cool.
That was a jump scare.
I
like immediately sat up in my seat. I was like, what? what a response coming in from Shady. You see how far that takes Shady, as Shady did take that first round over Adroth. Adroth once again throwing Shady into the corner. Low on resources though, we don't have to demure quite yet. We do have spin and DP unlocked, but we're not going to be unlocking Ground Viper just yet. Shady activating that OD, and this is another one of those ODs where people will always say that is one of the best ODs in the game, and it does so much for Fuzzama, but we're not confirming our 6As, a classic Fuzzama blunder.
Well, here's the thing. So it's actually really funny that you say that, because in the very first round, you saw the 6A came out, and then the Hotenja came out really late, which tells me that they confirmed it the very first time. But I think they truly just were like, okay, this guy's getting mixed to death. I'm just gonna like Hotenja here. And sadly, that's the one time in which it gets blocked.
Yeah.
And then Adroth ends up taking their life as a result from it.
I think one of the most fun things to look at when it comes to different Fuzzama players is how they confirm their 6A into a Hotenja. Because I'll see like Fuzzama is like, oh yeah, he confirms it most of the time, and then you got Kairos where I'm like, okay, 50-50, sometimes he confirms it, sometimes he doesn't, and sometimes he just eats a big punish off of it. And I think that's one of the most fun things to inspect about these Fuzzama players.
I wonder what Shady was mashing there, because that's just a delay 3C. And I don't even think they were necessarily, it was an instant block 6B, so it was still like +4. Delay cancel into 3C is usually very useful for when you want to enforce, like your stagger options as a season. Because again, like, you know, while Fuzzama 5A is like, what, 5 frames, it's very, very fast. You know, usually the Susan 2A will end up, you know, just low profiling it there. But I'm surprised that Shady ended up just mashing in general. These guys are stuck in neutral here. Active flow on the side of Adroth. It's probably not going to lead to too much immediately. But we got about 25 seconds left on the clock. No CAs quite yet. There's the 6A, keeping it simple by just opting to go for the 2B. Ooh, trying to maybe TRM or just outright purple throw. Not too sure here, but Adroth with a ton of resources available on a solid hit. That equals the get.
Yeah, Shady was really hoping that burst would come back in time, but a little too slow. And Adroth doesn't, you know, Susanna does not need to get a lot of hits on you to do a lot of damage. I think one of the funniest things is playing Susanna and just like saying, okay, that was one move, second move, third move, and it's like, okay, yeah, I already did way more damage than most other characters would do in 10 hits. That's just how it is with that character. And because of that, it also makes so that that burst does not come back as fast as other characters would make it come back.
These two guys are going immediately into the next match. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I can be surprised, because for me, I always gotta wait like 5 minutes. I'll win and I'll just be like, oh god, man, how did that happen? And then I pause for like a minute or two. It's usually when I just rematch that I lose a lot. Don't look at the last monthly slots. Don't worry about that. Anyway, next game coming in here. This is pretty solid for, oh, this is great actually. Okay. I'm surprised that that's a really good pickup off the T36A. That's just good. All right, what's the mix here? 5A with no TRM checks yet. Okay, that's very good. So one thing that's really important to recognize is that, like, when Fuzzama's running his pressure here, also that was a good throw. When Fuzzama's running his pressure and you see like the 2-1-4B come out, you can just hold north like most of the time. You can just hold north and you will like block like the A and the C follow. You will you avoid the C follow up, you block the A follow up. It's pretty solid. You usually end up forcing them to go for like the flash pick, the B follow up in order to potentially catch you. But it's not really great to do if your opponent just sits and blocks. Speaking of which, should have sat and blocked there. This is not a CMV, but this is a dead person on the screen. You understand, right?
Yep. That OD pop, like, yeah, that's
What kills me about it is that what kills me is the OD pop actually, because Shady was likely just gonna RC that and maybe like a J or something real cheeky. Like then Adroth was like, you know what, man? I'm just gonna kill you. Just pop the OD. Like that confirm would have killed regardless of OD, but Adroth just wanted to guarantee it. Sometimes you just do this stuff and it ends up sending a message. It's very funny. Right, goes into orbit, makes that OD not so good. One thing that's really, really important to note. Oh god, that is so strange. Because Shady opted for the 2D follow-up, actually, it ended up resulting in picking up regardless on the 6A air hit. Anti-air here, chain for the extension. Should be close to 50 meter. Not enough to mix quite yet. It's just a 2B on the OD activation there. Can't really mash too heavily there. It's really important to note that when you are trying to OD through people's pressure and they're using low committal buttons, you know, they're 2As, some 2Bs, right? They end up just recovering in time that you're still just stuck in RPS rather than giving yourself like a near guaranteed scenario or at least weighted RPS that's heavily in your favor. Like
yeah, that's one of the. Yeah, that's one of the most difficult parts about ODing Fuzzama because he always does that.
Like, you'll often see that. It's typically when, like, you want to use maybe, like, barrier or something to push them out. That would encourage them to either try to reset pressure or use 3C or maybe even 236A. That's when an OD might have, like, some slightly better usage. But the OD on kind of the early parts of the pressure is just unfortunate. This is a lot of damage, yeah. Adroth had to burst there, otherwise the OD coming up was going to kill him. Good reaction on the stance cancel by jumping out, but this is tough. Command grab super. No, no tech, not the purple throw. Ay, ay, ay. That sucks. That is the most unfortunate.
The purple throw super. That. Yeah, no, I don't have an excuse for that one. That was just.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it.
That was
You
rough.
just hate to see it. That's what we say. We say we hate to see it.
We hate to see it.
We
move on.
We move on.
We forget.
Do we forget?
If you're Adroth, you got to put that behind you. If we're the audience, we can.
That's forgetting, but that's not forgiving. That's
no,
not forgiving.
forget. I said forget.
So you think he just forgets? There's no forgiveness even necessary.
No. That's not on the table.
I see.
You can't let him. You can't let him get away with that. That's all I'm saying.
If they were fighting in real life, you'd be a good instigator. I don't know why, but I just feel it in my soul. You like instigating? I never would have. I never would have expected this. I never would have expected this. That is actually remarkably good instigating.
Go ask Javon. He'll tell you.
Oh, okay. We will talk about this eventually. Oh my god, that's just an awkward set of drops here. Ends up. Whoa. Okay. Not expecting 63D to come out and just straight up whip there. That's a little awkward here. GP unlock most likely, yeah. Especially given the proration, that just looked very weird. Ordinarily, I probably would have been a cross under, but to be frank, visually, it just looked confusing to me. A couple of chains come out, but Shady has deprived themselves of any stocks now. A few awkward seconds end up leading and Adroth getting a hit here. Next hit certainly kills. Throw comes up here. You could just super and keep it real simple. Props for the 5B6B. That's fine enough. Frankly, that's one of those scenarios where if Shady were to pop the burst, I think if I'm an Adroth, I'm like kicking my feet in the air, so to speak.
Yeah, taking that burst away and still being in a very good position, having full meter to still get that kill later on. Yeah, I mean, that was an incredible position for Adroth, and there's really no reason for Shady to burst there, but this is going to be a pretty difficult position now that you're stuck in the corner once again. Grand Viper, DP, and Orb are all unlocked for Adroth. OD has been popped by Shady, and we're going to be using that EA as well. The anti-air comes out, potentially not fully finishing the combo, but we will be getting yet another combo in quick succession to toss Adroth into the corner and start to run on offense.
It's going to be like 3 points something K here. Trying to look for another mix, but the delay wake up from Adroth ends up nullifying any mix-up opportunity there. Quick hit for Adroth, sending Shady a little closer to the corner, 6 COD. It all depends on Adroth managing to finish up this confirm. We've seen a lot of crazy drops, so you never know until you see it. And that is yet another drop there, sadly. Okay, let's see what comes up. CA, no confirm, but the tech forward JC just wanted to hit him off.
Yeah, and in that moment, if Adroth didn't do that, Shady was immediately out of that corner. We saw that chain coming out, but unfortunately could not escape the corner fast enough to get hit by the JC there. So well played to Adroth. That was a much faster final game there, going in his favor. Took a little bit of time to think about it, and then taking it out from under Shady's from under Shady there. And now Shady sent out of the bracket as Adroth moves on to play against Dawn. We're going to be seeing another Susano versus Relius matchup coming up soon. But I believe we're going to be going to our other losers match between Fuzzama and the Play Guy.
Yes. And, you know, while the players get ready, and remember, y'all, you can just queue up while we're in the middle of yapping. Don't worry about us. We'll figure it out. We're semi-professional here. Or at least I won't put that label on you. But semi-professional. Damn. See, I'm proving myself right. Anyway, it's burst limit, guys. Don't forget that these guys are not only battling for placements, they are also battling for points on the board. And if they win their respective games finale, which is after 10 weeks, and we are in week 5, they get a free trip to beach episode coming up in July 18th through the 20th. Remember, it's a free trip, that's room and board included. It's a pretty sweet deal for playing a video game online a few times, if I do say so myself.
And right now, speaking of those points, Dawn is actually the top of the leaderboard at first place with a huge lead, 357 points to the second place, 215 points from Fuzzama. So even if Dawn loses in this match right here, Dawn is still in a really good position to take that first place away and has already like set a pretty good precedent to be qualified for that final bracket later on at the end of the first limit season.
Before we see Dawn come up, though, we do have to deal with I feel like, can I call it classic? I don't know if I can call it a classic.
I would have called it a classic. I would.
This was definitely a lockdown classic.
But yeah, Fuzzama's second place on the leaderboard, but Play Guy actually is not on the leaderboard. I don't even know if Play Guy even wants to get onto the leaderboard at this point, or if he's just playing for fun. I feel like that's how Play Guy normally does his things. He just gets on and plays because he feels like it, not for any external benefit to himself.
I don't know. He's a mystery to me, but that's just because I just played him once and that was like it. Solid dude though. He is indeed a gamer. But yeah, these guys they fought countless times. I don't know how else to drum it up for y'all. Sometimes these sets between these two ends up being very close. Other times it could end up being a blowout for one or the other. I have genuinely no idea how it will end up tonight. But I'll be yelling a bunch more than like, oh my god. And see, there it is. We are already beginning.
That was the perfect time to start yelling to it.
I know, and I just wish my voice followed me. This is a really good opener for Fuzz though. I'm not gonna lie. This is a ton of damage. This is over like 50% already. Jesus.
70%, 80%, something like that. A very big percentage for Fuzzama, has a huge lead. We're seeing the JCs come out from Play Guy to try and test that space and wall out Fuzzama from approaching with those chains, but Fuzzama has been doing a great job at baiting these approaches, and now Play Guy is going to be eating this super as Fuzzama takes the perfect to start us off, and things can be close sometimes, and sometimes things can be blowouts between these two players, and in this case, that was a blowout for that first round, but we'll see how round 2 shapes up instead.
This was a smooth like 3. That was a smooth 3 hits. That's a Ragnar loss if I've ever seen it. That's a true 10k health character copy pasta. Plus frames off of the blood scythe. Ends up getting clipped low. Probably catching a fuzzy jump there. But again, I don't know why Play Guy's going. At this point, I don't know if it's just Play Guy genuinely going for a knockdown off the Gauntlet Hades or what. Because the first part of Nightmare Edge still leads to a good knockdown, so I'm not too sure what's going on here. Either way, Play Guy's still maintaining a rather comfortable lead here. Ends up jumping over Fuzz. That's another drop on the 3C there. Gauntlet Hades in general and Ragnar's pressure is very useful for catching fuzzy jump opportunities, and you see some of the staggers leading to some pretty solid hits against Fuzzama here. Again, Ragnar's ability to stagger is pretty good in general amongst the cast, and 5B's like hitbox like being the way it is ends up resulting in like usually catching people attempting to like fuzzy jump. Like multiple times. So it's very, very good there. It's a quick command grab from Fuzz, though, and we're going to see Aragna tossed directly into the corner here. It's not going to be a ton of damage, but again, we're talking about what the mix-up is if there was a solid knockdown here, but the drop is going to lead to things getting a little shaky. Nothing that a little 5A anti-air counter hit can't solve, though, and we're going to see that Oki potentially come back here now. Yeah.
Getting a hard knockdown, stance, retreat. Maybe you're trying to expect a DP coming out from Playguy, but no DP comes out instead. We're seeing that aggressive jump forward from Playguy to contest for that space yet again, and we're going to be equalizing the life total between these two players. Playguy bringing Fuzzama down to the ground as now we are even in a life total, but we're not even in that screen positioning as Fuzzama is stuck in the corner. Popping OD though, he's hit by the JC and Playguy popping OD of his own. We're going to be building potentially 50 meters during this combo, but unfortunately
we're going to be dropping. You're blowing it. If you didn't win, actually, never mind, you won. I can't even do a SpongeBob bit. That's unfortunate. Maybe we'll see a drop that leads into that later. Hopefully not, but you know, if it does, I got a backup plan.
Man, tighten up these combos, dude. Every single time I see a drop from Playguy, like something breaks inside of me.
Sometimes I'll watch Playguy and I'm like, damn, this kid's so good. And then he just drops or he throws and I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah, no, he plays so consistent, so good, and then
sometimes
just like at the most random point, he's like, okay, I'm not playing the game anymore. Like, I don't know how else to describe it.
Whoa, what a JA! I think he instant blocked the chain too, which is the reason why that gap was even long enough to like contest. Otherwise, that would have just been like the freest counter hit. Incredible. Oh, you're doing stance cancel pressure? That's not even real. Damn, you really try to condition this guy. It's really important to note again, like, Fuzzama doing any like cancel into stance and then just like leaving stance is incredibly minus. Like, it is predicated off of your opponent playing a bit more passively, but if you have a bit more active defense, or if you're simply just like fuzzy jumping frequently, you do really get to just lead like Fuzzama. Oh, that's a good trade. That's a GameStop trade if I've ever seen one, and I'm not sure what that stock price is looking like. Jesus Christ, this is going to be good damage here as well. 4K, unfortunately, just a little far after the 6C. That's another OD on the side of Playguy. That's a lot of time to work with here. That's an awkward drop. Oh my god. Big bait on the counter assault, however. Should lead to a pretty quick kill here. Finishes off with a Nightmare Edge, and Playguy putting himself up 1 round. He's at set point here.
Yeah, at first I was thinking, is that a drop or a reset? But, I mean, Playguy had such a good starter off that OD that it felt weird that he didn't root later on into the super, so I think, like you said, that was a drop from Playguy, but Playguy's not going to be dropping this combo, taking Fuzzama straight to the wall in the start of this second round. Playguy recovering all that health back. Now we're working on the perfect once again. Maybe we're at blue health, fully charged. Fuzzama getting out of the corner. He's using some of those chains to get to the other side, trying to force a cross of a Playguy matching, not letting Fuzzama get away with these options.
He hit the dead zone part of the chain, which ended up ruining a potential conversion here. Fuzz still managing to pick up. Overdrive still available. Again, the kill pressure is immense, especially with Ragna, who's got a very, very low health to work with. There's the overdrive. We're seeing the immediate mash, trying to start their pressure immediately. Oh my god, Playguy blocking so much of this. He's just going to opt to jump into the air, try to avoid most of the mix-ups available here. Delay tech as well. And he ends up surviving Fuzzama's OD very well. Cancels into his own off of the string here. This is sure to be a very quick kill. It's going to be the Carnage Scissors. And that's a snake set all the way back to the garden.
Dude, I swear to god, if Playguy dropped there. I'm sorry, I'm not... I'm not gonna let Playguy.
He just won! He just won! He just won!
I'm sorry, he's dropped so many times now. It's hard to believe that he's finishing it.
But he was winning while he was winning.
You're right.
He was winning in the process. He was winning.
But yeah, well played to Playguy. That was. I mean, it started out like very polarizing in the sense that Fuzzama had an incredible perfect on Playguy starting things off. Playguy returned the favor with a huge round of his own. Then Fuzzama did it back to him. But then as the rounds progressed, we got closer and closer, and Playguy able to take it over Fuzzama pretty handedly. And now Playguy has secured a spot in losers semifinals, and we'll be waiting on the winner between this next match between Dawn and Adroth. And after that, we're going to be hopping back up to winner side to watch the classic matchup of Icecool and Kobe. Lots of classic matchups, and this one will be no different.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm very curious. I'm curious how the winners final set is gonna go, because I know that in a lot of sets, and I think at Frosty's, I didn't watch the top 8 too heavily yet. Still gotta stream the analysis at some point. We'll talk about that later. If I remember correctly, Icecool did end up cleaning up Kobe pretty decently offline. Excuse me. And I know that Icecool generally, if I remember correctly, and I'm sure they'll correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but I believe Icecool generally has a pretty winning record against Kobe. There are times in which like those two end up having like quite close sets. But as a little preview for later.
Yeah, from what I've seen, I would say the same thing. I think Icecool usually has that higher win rate, but I would say that they tend to go back and forth more often than you think. Like Kobe's saying in there, 60-40, I think that's kind of a pretty decent ratio. But he says my favor. So Kobe thinks he wins 60-40.
We'll fact check that later on here.
We'll see later on.
We got Aurelius and a Susanoo to talk about here right now.
Yeah, we've already seen this matchup once. Like I said, Adroth has a bit of a different playstyle compared to Icecool. It's not as patient, but it is still pretty darn patient. One of the scariest things is that patience you see in the play. Looking for that one big hit, you got to play around Doll a lot, and also playing around that drill. I like this placement from Adroth to make sure you don't get hit by it, get locked down, and you can just swing in with your 5Cs to immediately start pressure.
Speaking of which, Dawn ending up getting the side swap here early. Not really any resources spent, mind you, so this is looking pretty good for him. I say that, and then he just spent a lot of Doll. So now he ends up spending the overdrive in order to get the Ignis gauge back up a bit. You'll see that happen pretty frequently with Dawn, where he likes to play. Whoa! I understand why Susanoo players complain about 2C sometimes. As that button is good, but wow, that cross-up is just genuinely tragic. Dawn trying to respond to the counter assault pretty aggressively by going for the 5B. He's looking to stuff some approaches here, but Adroth ended up playing it a little more patiently than expected. Maybe looking, I think Adroth is also scouting out a little bit for CA here. We'll see what ends up coming up. Oh, it's going to be the 3C that catches Dawn, and again, I think Dawn was expecting, was probably trying to fuzzy jump there, given that the late yellow exclamation point came on. Adroth was really good movement to get out of there, and counter assault 2D. People talk about dangerous defense with Carl, but let me tell you, Aurelius is not exactly a safe guy when it comes to him having to block a whole normal. And with the 5C there, mind you, you gotta understand that Aurelius popping C normals into dual BIOS is usually pretty lights out in terms of like trying to escape from it. So usually you're forced to block it. And blocking through dual BIOS is hard. I have to like empty the brain half the time to have any hope of blocking most of it.
Yeah,
but,
you can't like OD, you can't counter assault through it like normal because you're just going to get stuffed by that dual BIOS. It's the unstoppable force basically.
In a lot of ways, yeah. This is looking pretty damn good. 3C knockdown as well, which sets up for the high-low. It's going empty-low. Adroth sadly getting pieced up by the 6As a little bit. There's a bit of visual confusion that comes in. CA maybe? Ooh, it's really good that he did CA. We were talking about those defensive options. Had he gone for the counter assault on the 6C before the dual BIOS, he would have gotten countered by Ignis for like the game. This is not a kind character on the screen right now.
And now that Adroth is out of the corner, he is playing for the game, finding an overhead with the spin and bringing Aurelius all the way to the other side of the screen with 2 combos. Yes, even the life total chasing down Dawn even further. OD being popped on the side of Dawn, and the God press from Adroth in response. You only get 1 God press per set, and Adroth spends his wisely.
Jesus Christ. I watched him pop OD, and I'm like, alright, well, let's see what happens. And I saw Susanoo tense up, and I feared for my life. Jesus, counter it on the J2D, ends up leading to 5th version. Oh my god. Scouting out for some delay text with the 3C there. Not seeing anything too much. Has to summon Ignis somehow, gets her on the board. That's a counter assault again. That's a lot of meters spent on the side of Dawn. He's gonna have to find a way to get it back if Adroth ends up finding a hit here. Not enough meter for dual BIOS. We could see a CA come out, but it's going to be the 2C that ends up getting Adroth out of the corner. In fact, side swapping Dawn right into there. Good unlocks as well. That's Orb, that's Sword as well. We've seen Adroth use Orb quite a lot when his opponent has Overdrive available in order to make some of his buttons much safer and reduce the risk on potential RPS scenarios. Not going to see a burst here, but this is surely a dual BIOS coming up here real soon, no?
I feel like you're right, but we're not going to be seeing that just yet. Burst coming out from Dawn in response to Adroth. Find that hit. Adroth trying to reset into the throw, but that's not going to work out.
Okay. This is tough.
100 meters.
Oh,
There's the
no.
wall. Now Adroth has to play this blocking mini game and gets hit by the crush trigger. That will leave the game.
No. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about why this has me very sad. Okay, Dawn, of all the Relius players I've seen, is a big fan of just popping dual BIOS at full screen. In my opinion, this strategy has a lot of weaknesses, but the fact of the matter is if you've committed your air actions ahead of time, that dual BIOS is going to catch you and you're going to end up getting mixed. It's very important to let player, like if somebody's willing to wave $20 in your face and throw it down the drain, that is $20 that they can't use against you, you know? They can't buy like a soccer bopper to punch you in the face. I don't want to get hit by a soccer bopper, man. So let them spend the money for you. So it's one of those cases where you really don't need to commit, but unfortunately that was not quite the case, which resulted in Adroth getting hit there. In counter assaulting, when Relius has 50 meter and a dual BIOS can result in the game, it's very, very tough. It's a lot of expensive doll usage there, but Dawn ends up getting a hit. He's going to pop this super, desummon Ignis, and he wants to regen as much of the Ignis gauge possible before he goes for this next route. Ends up regenning all of it. That's a standard resummon here. Things are looking pretty damn good for Mr. Clover.
That it is. Adroth is going to be in the corner, hard knockdown. Dual BIOS, now this is the perfect time to use it. And you can see the Adroth trying to go for the roll forward, but you can't really do that as Dawn can just catch you like that.
Yeah, it's really important to note that I'm actually surprised I didn't.
Head? Okay.
He's gonna like 60 to throw here or something, right? Oh, Ignis is gone. Never mind. Whoa! If he converted off that JC. Alright, counter assault comes out. Dawn just wants to close it out. He's probably gonna look for a couple of buttons again. Adroth is in chip range, so he has to barrier pretty much everything, or at least CA to get Dawn off of him. God press once again! Broke the limits, and with the orb unlock available, converts off of it immediately to kill action.
Dawn, wake up!
Sometimes you get hit, man. You're in the throes of battle, and sometimes you just get struck.
Dude, Adroth's like, you know what? I'm at a pixel of life left anyways. I'm gonna full send it. You know, I respect that. Adroth taking that round over Dawn there, back into the game, and that's setting himself into a pretty good position with all these really great JA air takers against all the players he's been playing against so far. But we need to unlock a little bit more specials to actually make the Zona start to work a little bit better. We have Spin, we have Orb, but Adroth, I think, is maybe trying to look for that DP on defense in that sword to go through, and that sword for neutral, because it can kind of just catch both Doll and Relius at the same time.
The late tech was a bit rough here because it ended up stalling a lot of time for Dawn to regain some of that Ignis gauge back up. And also, you know, he didn't really end up getting the opportunity to scout for some. I forget if he simply just was like hit in the midst of that 6A hard knockdown. I don't need to say the next two words coming out. You already see it on the screen here, folks. It's time to mix, mix, mix. The low ends up catching Adroth, and Dawn will convert that into the kill here.
Good stuff, setting up the dual BIOS. Kind of a checkmate situation in a lot of cases because of the amount of mix that Relius can start to put on top of you. It's kind of just create your own mix at that point. It's like, am I going to go for 1 overhead, 2 overheads, 3 overheads? I don't know what I'm going to do here.
It definitely opens up the cookbook and just says, I guess I'm kind of bored today.
And speaking of opening up the cookbook, Adroth getting his first unlocked as God Press, kind of alluding to something maybe. 5A, great challenge there.
Spin's available as well. Yeah, and there it is. Speaking of which, call the devil and he shall appear. This is going to lead to some pretty solid damage. Level 2 spin is really, really good for the neutral control, though. Like, it's fantastic for Susan to just send it out there. You see it come out again already, forcing out the CA there from Dawn. Another spin just gets rid of Ignis, and now she's back on screen. But look at the gauge. Dawn's gonna be forced to pop OD very soon in order to get her back up. You see the burst coming out right there. Oh, Jesus Christ. No CA, in fact, comes out a little bit later. It's the spin instead that came out. And another spin on the side of Susan, in fact, will lead to the kill. Adroth putting himself on the board.
That's crazy. I don't think I see it very often where we're using spin as sort of a neutral tool to poke with the pillar. Yeah, I mean, good stuff to Adroth there. Great spacing, and it really just came down to Adroth starting to push that advantage the moment the doll gauge went out. And that just goes to show how important keeping that doll gauge is when it comes to playing against these Xanos, because you want to be keeping him as far away as possible at any moment.
And another thing that's really important to note, try to watch for the amount of times you see Adroth start to IAD at Dawn in the middle of like his pressure. You'll see it come up really frequently, especially when Dawn has 50-meter available, because Adroth wants to look for both spin and the counter assault, and the IAD there will end up checking for both of those. Oh my god, 6C to the cranium right there. That is 27 whole frames to think about your actions.
This is a throw.
What in God's name?
That would walk for the 5A? I'm surprised I whiffed.
I don't know. That was just a genuinely really weird whiff right there. I have not seen J214B. I think it's J214B whiff quite like that. Oh my god. That man started
very aggressive.
Oh, there's probably a desync. Yeah, it's looking like a desync here. One can only presume.
Definitely like it.
It's alright, folks. We'll see what ends up coming up here later. I don't know if we'll end up exiting out spectating-wise or what have you, but the players will let us know. In fact, you know what? Hold on a second. Let me look at Dawn. I think Dawn is streaming right now. Let me gaze.
Oh, we're gonna see the Dawn stream again?
I mean, I'll just look over real quick. You never know. You know, funny enough, the most that I've seen, like, this randomly desync, it's frequently been Dawn in like a very late stage of the game, and then like randomly I'll be like, okay, I guess we gotta switch on to the stream. Right now I can tell you currently here that Adroth is just pressuring Dawn in the right side of the corner. Dawn ended up finding a pretty good hit here. He's gonna try to side swap Adroth back into the corner. He's got active flow available right now, plenty of meter. He popped the dual BIOS. Things are looking pretty good. Ends up blocking the delayed air dash overhead. Blocks the empty jump low, but eats the 6A. It's always the really slow mix-ups after your mental stack has been, like, absolutely fried. He's trying to go for the traditional high-low mix afterwards here. But Adroth ended up ODing! He did DPRC. Oh my god, does he kill off of this? Hold on a second. Spin, 2D, super.
He might be able to. Straight to the super. Let's see if this kills.
No, oh, he's dead. He's so
That's dead. That's
dead. He's absolutely dead. He's gone. Jesus Christ. Guys. But
okay, Tawita, I think I need to tell you how I was watching that final segment there. I pulled up Adroth stream and I immediately got like a Jolly Ranchers ad. So you know how like the stream goes into like the mini player to the side while the ad is playing? Yeah. I was watching it on that tiny iPhone 4 size screen to see what was going on.
Oh, that happens. I think the worst is it's something else here, but that was a pretty crazy end of the set there.
We need to like edit that into the VOD later on.
Oh, I don't know. I'm too lazy to do that. I actually, you know what? That's for other people to handle.
Oh, are you important that edits the VODs?
No, I'm not. I don't know why I even said that. I'm just saying bold-faced lies. I can't lie to you right now. Shit. You see what I mean? Anywho,
red-handed.
But yeah, that ended up being 2-1 for Adroth. And that does end up setting up almost the rest of our sets here. As we do have Plagueye versus Adroth, apologies, in the loser semifinals, and we still have Icecool and KILLAKOB3S in winners final here.
That we do. We're down to our top 4 players. Honestly, I think like one of the most interesting things I've seen is the I don't know if it's like consistency, but like I feel like when Adroth plays against Dawn, he surprises me with how he kind of sneaks away these set wins every now and then against him. Because like normally you think like Dawn is like the stronger player, but Adroth I've seen take grand finals resets over Dawn before. So well played to Adroth. Moving on through the bracket, playing against Play Guy. Honestly, I will say one of Adroth's best performances in a little bit. I think this is going to be scoring him quite a number of points to try and make it onto the leaderboard. As Adroth is not on the leaderboard, Play Guy isn't on the leaderboard, but Icecool and KILLAKOB3S are both third and fourth place respectively. And like we've been talking about, this matchup can go either way. Normally, I think we both agree on that Icecool has a slightly higher win record against Kobe than Kobe has to him, especially in the offline area of things. But we'll see how this one ends up shaking out, as once again they do trade games back and forth.
And again, folks, it's really hard to tell which of these two are going to end up winning in this set. Like, genuinely, there are just random times in which somebody just gets like blown up, and there are times in which that does not occur. But yeah, let me see what we got going on here. Damn, I can never make a prediction. Well, I will not be biased. Let's see what the
Let your thoughts be known.
I will keep. Oh my goodness. Okay, never mind. We're just jumping away from each other. Okay, quick JA hit. Getting spin there is pretty solid. I do wonder how Icecool is going to want to route into it, especially if he wants to use a couple of quick overheads in order to check for some of Kobe's drive usage.
We'll be unlocking level 2 spin there. There's the JA, and immediately going to the 6B after the OD. Not scared to challenge that at all. Yeah, recovering fast enough. Ground Viper extending the combo, going to get a spin at the end as well. 4k damage, and even more so potentially if we can try to find one more combo. Kobe dating out of the corner though. You know, Icecool is put on the defensive, has to hold these nails. When this pressure gets tossed by Kobe.
Jesus Christ.
Put himself out there.
Whoa, that is very weird. JT going the wrong direction. Lots of jabs here and a plentiful IBs from Kobe. One thing that's really, really good to do when you are like up against a player that is IBing that much is that you just add a very, very slight delay in your jab pressure, or you like delay the buttons a little awkwardly, and you will end up doing like an IB trap where you are catching your opponent's instant block, since they have to return to neutral before they input another block again to continuously IB a string. It's either that or you just do nothing for a quick period of time if you think that they're the type of player to like opt for a reversal. 2A ended up being just like I think maybe a hair early, which resulted in it no longer being active by the time the overdrive came out. And Icecool opting to just delay the wake up there, does not want to use any sort of mix, and Kobe honestly just expecting him to like get up, and therefore ended up wasting a decent amount of time. But Icecool's still pretty low on the health. Active flow soon to come. Could pop on a big hit here. We'll see what ends up happening. That was a crazy catch there. I just watched that cha-cha slide like under Bang Shishigami. Throw.
60 starter. Kobe in the corner, trading in the air, trying to keep Kobe locked in. OD activation. Kobe going to ignore that. Now running away, trying to run down this timer just a little bit. 6BB into the ground Viper RC to keep this pressure going.
He's gonna 6B potentially in order to catch like most of Kobe's dash attempts. 2C instead, and that's still very active. And look at all the 5As right there. You want to talk about stop signs there, buddy? That 5A is quite the stop sign indeed. And Kobe, sadly, in the good old vein of DW, thought that it would not stop him since he can't read. But 5A does indeed end up slapping Mr. Shishigami in the face.
Yeah, I do really like that 2C from Icecool as well. It's like, yeah, I'm kind of expecting Kobe to be pretty offensive. And if he's not being offensive, then that 2B is just going to recover in time for to put Icecool into a position where he's safe. So, honestly, at the end of the day, it was a kind of relatively low risk to go for that option.
instant block instant block falling J for the counter hit is wild work. Honestly, I'm really shocked at the early burst from Kobe. Maybe wanted to maintain some like early momentum, but again, like as Bang depriving yourself. Oh my God. Okay, he's not dead on this hit, but let's just say that the oh my God, he just immediately mashed into 2A 5C. This is a demonic game. Good blocks from Icecool. Maybe looking for the command grab there from Kobe. You'll see like a bit of the deep run-up options before Kobe opts for like some command grabs there. But I can't tell if Kobe instead was trying to like deep run up 2A in order to catch a jump. 5A counter hit. Icecool unable to fully confirm off of it. Lots of challenges in Kobe's pressure. Kobe hasn't been able to really like get the ball rolling in this game so far. Jesus, falling JB ends up connecting, and that's another early burst. This is rough.
Yeah, Kobe really needs to start taking these games away because he's not going to be having bursts later on in the round, especially if Icecool can get 1 or 2 hits on him. It's going to be put on the wire, but right now Kobe is putting Icecool on the wire as we're going to be bringing him to that dangerous red health orb on wake up. Going to find a counter hit on Kobe and let Icecool take back his turn, rushing in with tackle, trying to set up a throw situation. Kobe recognizing the situation, immediately gain that tech. Icecool needing 1 more hit on Kobe, and this is what I've been talking about. You're not getting that burst back in time as he only has 6 pips remaining, and with that Icecool, even despite being so low on health compared to Kobe, on a huge deficit, is able to take things back with, once again, 2 hits into 2 combos, and that was just a done deal.
Oof, and that was a really delayed like IED air throw. Like that was just a straight read. Can't lie. Nice air to air by Icecool here. That JA puts in some serious business. Early OD. I think he just wants to put a lot of pressure on him or something here. Jesus Christ. Okay. Sand kick ends up counter hitting. That's a fast burst.
Okay, I would say that was a fair burst. Out of all the early bursts that Kobe has done so far, getting fatal counter by that is rough.
I actually completely forget the sand kick counter hit confirmed. I don't think I've seen that fatal in like ages. Jesus.
I'm sure Icecool will show us if he gets another one.
We'll see, but right now Kobe is definitely trying to make it all Bang all the time. Geez, good jump on the command grab. No punish though, sadly. Mistimed on the JB slightly, but Icecool should be able to take Kobe nearly to the corner off of this knockdown. Unlocks DP in the process there. Quick RC. Counter hit trying to challenge Kobe off of the nail usage right there, but he ends up eking himself onto the board here. That's 1 round for Kobe right now, but it does feel like a tall mountain to climb right now.
Does have that lead, and honestly, kind of has the momentum so far. Kind of has the momentum right now over Kobe. He's kind of just playing like how he feels, and Kobe is trying to respond to that. There's the air throw coming in, not going to be getting the conversion with the 6E, and now Kobe's going to be able to get that punish off into the corner. Should be able to unlock all 4 seals, I believe.
If he so chooses. Ends up leaving it with the bumper, yeah. Trying to look for some sort of mix. There's the 6B dash. But again, Icecool's defense has really been making has been so crucial towards him succeeding in this set so far. A lot of Kobe's extended pressure ends up going. I don't even know if that was a card cancel throw startup right there, but that was nuts. Icecool's ability to stop Kobe's pressure, or at the very least interrupt a lot of offense and movement, has been so pivotal, and it really has made this match, this set, feel so dominant for Susanoo right now. Just his ability to just place himself properly, use the correct button in so many different scenarios that covers a lot of likely options from Kobe. It's all very good.
Yeah, I love how you're saying that, and we're seeing these 2Cs come out like that. I mean, it's just such a perfect option, putting him into a very good position where if Kobe tries to dash over him, that 2C is going to catch him because it's so active. It hits both sides, huge hitbox, and it gives Icecool such a huge reward off that hit as well. And I think that's we've seen this already too in previous matchups. I believe it was Adroth, where that really is the big tool that Bang has to be looking out for if he's trying to run offense on Icecool, because it is such a huge stop sign.
He has no nails. He has no nails. That is why okay, we can talk about this real quick because that's actually really, really important here. I was very confused why Kobe bursted for a second there, but part of the reason why he bursted is that he did not have it. Probably, I'm assuming that he just didn't want to like deal with the Oki of Icecool's hit. But one thing that was really crucial for the next like interaction afterwards, where he did get a hit, is that he lacked an nail, which meant that he was not able to convert into whatever, like, you know, into whatever ender that Bang would maybe normally want to go for there.
Yeah.
Which ends up resulting in Icecool kind of just like taking very little damage, breaking out, and then finding a hit quickly there. So most unfortunate, but that was a very, very resounding 3-0 on the side of Icecool here, and Kobe is now sitting patiently in losers finals, waiting on the winner of this next set coming up here. This will be Playguy versus Adroth.
We're going to be keeping that Susanoo train going, and Adroth right now is on the right of his life as he's taking down Dawn, taking down Shady, taking down Remains, all the way to make it up here to lose semifinals. Actually, wait, did Remains in the Icecool? No, Remains and Adroth play in winner side. Hold on.
Remains ended up
not.
playing Kets. Remains played Kets.
Right. I was okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I know he played against Susanoo. I'm crossing all the lines here with all these players.
I understand. These things happen. For now, it's a little more Susanoo of a different ilk. The Canadian himself coming down to netplay. Playguy and Adroth. I can recall all of these people playing so much during like big lockdown, and it's crazy to kind of think about like both seeing them in person afterwards and then seeing them back online grinding it out here. Susanoo Ragna is one of those matchups where like netplay will affect how it feels slightly. Both characters have some pretty great tools against the other here. I'm mostly interested in terms of how like Playguy wants to stop or suppress some of Adroth's aggression and his approaches. Like Ragna's 5A is one of those buttons where like it's very, very important to like stuff a lot of characters in neutral here.
And so is using that 5B as well to stick out that big active button that is much faster than any option that Adroth could go for at that distance. So, base 6D straight into the orb. Playguy getting hit by that for a little bit. Now we're back to neutral. Playguy keeping that pressure going, finding a counter hit with that low hit. Not going to be converting to all too much, but we will be wall sliding Adroth into the corner, picking him up, and continuing another combo. Knockdown. Just going for triple 2A, 5B pressure. Honestly, has Playguy even thrown once in this entire tournament so far? I've not seen Playguy actually throw once with this character. It's just been strike all day, and it looks like that's exactly what it will work out for Playguy in the end as he closes off that first round.
That's tragic. I think Adroth just ended up getting clipped very unexpectedly and then continued to hold down back, which might be part of the reason why he ended up back rolling and then just getting clipped by the blood scythe there. Not too sure, to be quite honest with y'all. Either way, Playguy getting yet another early hit in. So far, this game has been all in his favor right now. Pretty strong pressure sequences here. Adroth's been opting to block a lot of this out, but we haven't seen as much active defense, whether that's in the form of like fuzzy jump. A lot of those mashes have ended up being stuffed out here. We see yet another counter hit on the side of Playguy here, and you know, I might have to amend that statement a bit. It's much less that Adroth is not willing to be active, and more so that like the places in which he's choosing to mash happen to be a lot of the spots in which Playguy is placing a lot of these stagger options and clipping Adroth for pretty decent damage here. Jesus. IB attempt here likely was trying to input a DP, but ends up just getting clipped by the true string right there during like a 6 input. It's really, really important, even when you see people IBing, like you still have some characters still have some strings that are available and that will true string and catch them off guard. We're seeing a very quick character select screen, and I do not blame Adroth. I would take a moment to just think.
Yeah, that honestly, Adroth really didn't get anything done in those last 2 rounds. Playguy just had a firm grip on that pressure, and like you said, constantly placing these traps for Adroth at the exact moments Adroth is trying to get out of that pressure and play that active defense. So Adroth may have to switch up that timing or something, because right now you cannot be put on defense this often by Playguy, as he's really just running over Adroth in this set. And Playguy only needs one more win as we're back down to that first 2 format. Here we go. Immediately backdashing, playing a little bit more passive this time around. Adroth going to get a free unlock as Playguy goes to the full screen, and now Adroth getting his first big combo, I would say, of the set so far, and already going to be taking away 50% of Playguy's life, and maybe even more. Not going to be this time though, as that throw has been tagged by Adroth.
Solid damage, pretty good recovery as well on it. Oh my, that's a TRM. Jesus. Sometimes, I swear, you just see somebody flinch briefly and you just end up throwing them for their life. And right now, you know, we were mentioning it earlier, right? Like, Playguy not really opting for throw very much, and suddenly now, like, his 2 main big openers in this round have just been off of, like, TRMs here. Jesus, CT coming out now as well, and Adroth is already gone. This is looking tough.
Adroth was looking good at first, but the moment that Playguy gets Adroth into the corner, it feels like it's just been lights out.
Yeah, it is, and speaking of which, this is looking tough, and Adroth hasn't really been able to react to any of the dead spikes either. And Playguy every now and then has been starting to like use them a little bit more frequently. You can really play a lot of mind games off of like the usage of dead spike, whether that's like catching people trying to jump and then you stuff like a 2 and 4A suddenly there. The delay 5C likely catching a fuzzy jump at the 10th as well. You know, we see the Hellsfang in order to continue pressure. Adroth CAing. He manages to get out. The barrier gauge is looking real sickly here. He's got to at least maintain pressure, otherwise like his barrier gauge runs out, it could get very awkward very quickly. That's a weird looking delay Nightmare Edge.
Oh, that's wraps. OD activation, straight into the super.
Valid by darkness, and Adroth is consumed by the loser's bracket and has been sent away.
Not a great set for Adroth. A little unfortunate that he wasn't able to really do too much against Playguy there, but that just goes to show that Playguy played very well. I think that's really all you can say. But also at the same time, Playguy really was overextending a lot because he felt like he could. I mean,
well, I'm gonna challenge that a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say it's less overextending, and I would say it's more so that like it's the ways in which Playguy was able to reset pressure very frequently and stagger very excellently. Like the big thing of it is that Playguy staggers netted a ton of counter hits against Adroth early on. And it was only until a lot later in which we see Playguy opt for like a ton of dead spikes, right? You know, the dead spike dash cancel is like plus. I keep forgetting how plus it is, right? But the fact of the matter is it's plus. And after like again, you pretty much it's like Playguy said, all right, stop mashing, and then was like, okay, now you might want to mash because I'm just plus. You might want to leave because I'm plus, and then started to slot in a lot of like delayed buttons in order to catch fuzzy jumps. So it's like a lot of really good layering on the pressure. And you know, admittedly, in some cases, which may end up looking like overextensions, but you know, a lot of that comes down to just the conditioning that is afforded. Speaking of which, we're gonna see a lot different defensive options with Bang on the screen as Playguy's new opponent here. Lots of instant blocks already here. You see Playguy opting to end pressure a little early. He can do a couple of true string lows, whether that's in the 2B or 3C, or even delay it a little bit. In order to catch Kobe out there. 5C ends up catching Playguy, resulting in a quick burst. And yeah, if I'm Playguy, you might want to just let her doing like a couple of buttons and then just running in. Because when players are IBing quite like that, they're very committed. It takes a bit of mental energy to like IB like jab strings to that degree. You can surprisingly just kind of like run in and just take your turn again, despite ostensibly being -3, right? Shouldn't be your turn, quote unquote, but, you know, fighting games are weird like that. We're back in neutral here. Kobe trying to vie for a decent position. Blocking the triple nail is pretty great here. Kobe's down to 4 nails. That's a quick burst. I'm rather surprised by it. CA comes out immediately. Oh my god. Okay. 60 teleport within there is unbelievably crucial. I do not know how else to truly describe it here.
And back to neutral once again. Runs in with the JC. Catches Kobe on the cranium. And Kobe is going to have to survive one more interaction now. Takes a throw.
CA?
10 seconds on the clock.
None to be found here. Air command grab! He can convert off of this meterlessly. Burst comes out from Play Guy. Are you the hero or will you fall? But it appears that the hero Vikarga is lying dead on the ground. Jesus Christ.
If it didn't work the first time, do it again. The throw immediately after that tech. Play Guy taking the round over Kobe, but had to spend that burst at the end there, so it's going to be a while until he gets his burst back. Kobe on the other side, though, will be getting that burst back pretty quickly after this combo ends at least. Play Guy getting the knockdown. How are we going to establish pressure? With his 2 A's, 5 A's.
Please just throw him. Please just throw him. I swear to God, if you throw him, it's going to be okay. If you text it, there's the 5C. Oh, wow. I'm surprised Kobe didn't recognize the 5C. He ends up at least escaping pressure. Not really too much else occurs here. I apologize to the lore heads here. The hero of the cargo is Jin. I always forget what Bang's official title is. Ooh, clipped by the 5C. I don't know what Play Guy was trying to do there. I saw Ragnar like shift slightly here. Either way, that's 4 seals. That's an umbrella stuck to you right now. Imagine blocking a ninja while Rihanna's playing in the background. Not exactly my favorite pastime here. Solid conversion off of the 6D coming in here. It's going to be decent pressure. Kobe's got 50 meter all seals. He's going to do a command grab at some point. I swear to God. This man, knowing his propensity for it. No command grab, just a very deep 2A, likely catching a jump attempt from Play Guy. Resets into the air command grab, however, and ends up taking the second round.
Well, you're half right.
Eh?
Yeah. Right. An air command grab. Alright. Kobe is getting immediately tossed into the corner there. Play Guy off to the races with a decent start. OG activation on Wake Up from Kobe into the EA. That's going to be granting active flow very early on. So we could be getting a lot of meter, especially when we find those hits. But instead, just canceling that early, trying to get that corner instead. Tossing out these nails, in the space. Play Guy having to respect it. Being opened up by the overhead, but Kobe not able to convert off of it.
Oh, that was a really good RC. Nice awareness on the 2 deep activation there. This is going to be solid damage. Not a ton, but again, it's just the fact that pretty much any other hit will kill. Nice rising JA in order to kill the umbrella and stay low committal here. Kobe unable to finish up the confirm there. The poison's going to tick Ragnar down. He's just at such a low health. The 5B catches the backdash. There's a reason why 4-4 ain't always good against the Blood Edge. You just did. That wasn't even an IAD. You just did. Jumped up. It did DP. I can only assume that Play Guy missed the air dash input.
Well, it looks like Kobe is really trying to get back into grand finals right now. Very quick first game 1. Actually, I wouldn't say that was quick. We had some pretty darn close rounds there, especially with that near timeout. In one of those rounds there as well. See how game 2 shakes up. Kobe finding first blood. Also getting that poison applied to take down that health a little bit for Play Guy.
I like ending the pressure on the TD there, not trying to really overextend and recognizing that a lot of the cancel options there are pretty reactable. It's either going to be the Hell's Fang or probably a Blood Scythe, and Dead Spike is going to be a bit far out here. Jesus Christ, I feel like Kobe hit him like only twice and he's already nearly dead. Not going to be able to really convert into any crazy mix due to the air blocking there. But, I mean, this is Ragnar with barely any health, and the 6B will get it done. Kobe's been able to chip down Play Guy with, 5C and 6B very consistently. The overheads have been coming in pretty clutch for him. Jesus Christ.
Straight into the throw counter in the air. Play guy probably trying to press JC or JA to try and wall out Kobe, but a little too slow. We can see that JC try to come out one more time, and Kobe down there anti-airing him in the process. Getting the advantage here, neutral, tossing out some of those nails, trying to go for a throw. Play guy going to jump it this time around, gets the conversion off of the JC, runs up. There's 2A, no throws coming out though, as Kobe will be holding down back to all this. Tries to use his drive normal, doesn't work out, and a play guy is going to punish him for that.
It's going to be a solid knockdown here. Not a lot of damage on the board though. And this is very, very doable for Kobe. All it takes really is just one OD activation for things to turn wildly different for either player here. Again, small conversion, but pressure is still maintained here. Oh, tries to go for a double overhead with the JC RC air dash, but ends up getting clipped by the 2D here. Lots of damage on the side of Kobe. Trying to pop the OD here. I have no idea what the conversion looks like to potentially kill here. 5C 2D. Oh, and that's so much more to work with here. That's going to be a dead blood edge on the screen here as Kobe punches himself up to 2-0 against Play Guy here again. It was only one more game for Kobe to win, and that second one was much, much more dominant than the first.
Yeah, I was about to say, I saw that. I saw the active flow, the OD. I was like, he's definitely going to be getting 50 meter during this combo. And yeah, Kobe taking one of those games. Taking two of those games, and now only needs to win one more ticket over Play Guy. This could be a potential 3-0 sweep in favor of Kobe, unless Play Guy has a response here. Reverse 3-0 is not out of the realm of possibilities, but Play Guy will have to work for it.
Good block so far. Jesus, okay. Solid trade, but Play Guy ends up getting the first big conversion of the game. And again, Kobe's been IBing a ton, and that means that he ends up gaining so much meter for many, many different options later on. Counter hit by the surprise 2D here, though. 3C ends up catching the landing here. And again, with that meter spent, is now converting, so we end up getting the full conversion. Play Guy's DP ended up coming out here. And at the moment here, it really does feel like Play Guy's having a hard time opening up Kobe here. Kobe's reactions in general are pretty solid type, and many times you can just do like you just actually just shitting him for 5 seconds and do just a regular throw. You're not even baiting out like a throw, you just walked back and forth. Jesus, okay, JD from out of nowhere ends up connecting here. It's gonna be the regular Devoured by Darkness though, sadly, so not nearly as much damage or health back, but still a little something for Play Guy here. Might survive a couple of interactions.
Yeah, absolutely. This could be a potential 2-hit instead of a 1-hit like it would have been before. And Play Guy is still going to continue to gain more life as he starts to force Kobe to block more and more of his specials. Play Guy spending that super, going to get kind of punished for it. Not really, more like a slap on the wrist as Kobe is still able to run this offense straight into the throw once again. That's going to lock Play Guy out of that burst and bring us to set point.
Yeah, Play Guy was trying to handle the situation smartly because he was aware that Kobe had 50 meter to work with after the super, so it was likely going to be invuln super RC into bank pressure. He wanted to jump and evade out of the way, but he ended up being a little too slow. It's one of those awkward scenarios where sometimes you do end up just having to take like very minimal reward, whether that's just like opting for a DP just to at least get a knockdown quickly against him. Right, there are times in which you cannot get all the pieces of the pie, so to speak. 6B ending up interrupting the, I believe, 6D startup right there, or it might have been 6D startup. Pretty good for the time being here. And again, Kobe ending up pushing Play Guy out quite a bit. Air throw ends up connecting. That's active flow available on the active flow is active here, but still needs one more conversion to get it done. 5 nails left on the board, 50 seconds left on the clock. Bumper popped here. It's at a pretty awkward angle here, so I'm not too sure if Kobe's going to be able to utilize it. 2D ends up catching the IB attempts. 2A ends up counter hitting. Kobe's not going to spend the burst surprisingly here. Play Guy should be able to convert and get a round on the board here, but it is still looking tough. Kobe is still at set point.
Yeah, Kobe trying to save that round for a potential big round to play for this final one. Kobe going to be getting counter hit though, so having to spend that on the burst immediately And Kobe, though, going on the offensive immediately, gets punished in the end, trying to play against Play Guy up in the air like that.
Oh, that's a lot of 6Bs. He's trying to make a point. Oh my god, canceling into Bloodsife ends up getting him out of the way of the teleport. I have no idea if that would get him out of the bomb either, but ends up working out pretty well regardless. Air command grab whiffs, teleport 2D connects. Okay. Leads into a side swap as well. It's going to be 4 seals available. Kobe spending a good amount of nails on this pressure. Doesn't end up really getting much out of it. 6B is blocked. We are still pressing buttons. We are still baiting bursts, surprisingly. Not able to convert into a kill. 2 nails left. Kobe opting to spend one on the bumper is actually shocking to me. Finishes spending them all, and now he doesn't really have much neutral tools to work with. Play Guy's got 40 seconds left on the clock. No burst, but it's just going to be a bang running around, and you just got to swat the fly here.
Yeah, that is the plan, and that's exactly what Play Guy finds. Swatting Kobe to the ground, but Kobe will be getting that burst potentially back very soon, as now we're getting closer and closer to that 8 pips remaining. Kobe stuck in the corner, on the command grab, and that is going to catch Play Guy, as we were, I think, in the middle of an air action there. We couldn't use the DP, we couldn't cancel the OD, so that right there was a checkmate.
Yeah, he was doing he was trying to look for a very fast JC. I can only assume that maybe he was looking to catch Kobe like jumping out or something. If that were the case, then I think a JA might have been more effective, as I think it would have been active on time in order to catch the command grab attempt, given that the hurt box on it is pretty big, but genuinely hard to tell. It's a very, very dicey scenario when you are ultimately making a lot of bets for your life there. Kobe now, of course, is sitting on the other side of Grand Finals after having been ousted by Icecool here. Y'all, feel free to ready up. We're going to run through some advertisements real quick here, just to let y'all know what the heck is going on in the side of Boston Blue Beat here. So, first things first, this is week 5 of a 10-week sprint for our Ranbat. These guys are fighting for points in order to qualify into a finale where the winner of each respective game, and again, this is for Monday, BlazBlue, Tuesday Plus R, Uni 2 on Wednesdays. The winner for each game gets a free trip to Beach Episode with room and board. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, and you get the opportunity to go play in another tournament for free. You know how crazy that is? It's real good. You might be asking, when is Beach Episode? July 18th to the 20th. Where is it? Waltham, Massachusetts. What games do we have? We got BlazBlue, Guilty Gear, all 3 of the major games, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. We've got Under Night. We have Sailor Moon S, a Boston classic, Melty Blood Current Code. We've got Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, Fatal Fury, Smash Brothers Ultimate, Rivals of Aether 2, and a mystery game. Now, if you guys are already in the Boston area or you want to come by a little later, our March bi-monthly is coming up in only a couple of weeks on the 15th, which will feature almost all of those games involved: BlazBlue, Grand Blue, CC, Uni 2, Strive, Rev 2, Sailor Moon S, and Plus R. Again, got a lot of games coming out here for y'all. That being said, y'all are here to watch these guys slug it out for some points here, so let's get on with it. Yes? No? I understand the stream has a slight delay, so, you know, sometimes these things take a little bit of a moment to start up here, but we're good to go when y'all are, folks.
Now let's get right into it. Grand Finals of week number 5 of Boston Blue Beat. We're right here at the halfway point. And this, honestly, this Grand Finals here is probably going to, or this, I'll say, bracket in general is going to be setting the pace for the rest of the weeks to come, and really start to solidify some of the placements that these players have on the leaderboard. This would be a huge win for Icecool, as I believe this should catapult them up straight to 2nd place on the leaderboard. If not 2nd place, very, very close to taking away from Fuzzama. And for Kobe, if he's able to win here, this could potentially get him closer to taking over Icecool. I don't think there's quite enough points on the board to do that just yet, but there things are starting to get very, very close. But here we go. We've seen Icecool take out Kobe in winners finals, but now it is grand finals, so there is another opportunity for Kobe to bring it back. But he does need that reset, so we'll see how Kobe adapts to Icecool, because remember last time Icecool got a very quick 3-0 over Kobe.
Already, we're seeing a pretty quick start here. Oh, again, that's another early burst. In their earlier set in winners finals, we saw a lot of those come out from Kobe. Now, again, one can only assume that this is an attempt at stopping Icecool from getting certain seals, or at least starting some of the pressure, but unlocking the DP there for Icecool is pretty fantastic. We already see it in use seconds after obtaining it. Explosion ends up working out well for Kobe here. A pretty awkward scramble ends up converting into some more damage here. That's sure to be at least one more seal, 2 if he really wants it. There it is. Popping for the explosion Oki with the nail. 5C ends up getting blocked. RC low is blocked. Very confusing. Air catches there. Icecool, while maintaining his posture and blocking, most of this is still getting clipped here and there, and that damage is beginning to add up. Well, that's no nail bang. Now we're in the awkward zone. We're in the awkward zone where Icecool could very much just win just because, but J4B from Kobe ends up landing the final hit necessary to put the big war god in the coffin.
Yeah, and in that last round, that was really just Kobe's early burst, I would say, paying off. But in order for that burst to fully pay off, you have to play like he did in that last round, where he's just completely running over Icecool and kind of just suffocating him, preventing him from unlocking all those special moves when he tries to start pressure, or at specific moments if he tries to use that full screen once the game starts to run away. So using those nails pressure is also incredibly important. But right now, Icecool does have a slight advantage over Kobe and will continue to increase that advantage, attempting to go for a throw. Not going to work out. Kobe catching Icecool as well, and going to be scoring a big hit with this combo here. When that poison applied, this should equalize the life totals to a pretty good position for Kobe. Sets up the bumper for some extra mix, but won't have to use it as he opens up Icecool to put him into a position where one more interaction will be the end of it. And there it is, the overhead into the RC extension. Burst coming out from Icecool, trying to survive this one.
He's looking for some sort of opportunity. Kobe's got all 4 seals. No nails at this point. Poison ticking down on Icecool. The stray 3C ending up connecting there. And the 6B, despite on block, Kobe's been matching the 5A very frequently afterward. I forget if the frame data on 6B changes slightly depending on distance, but I can only presume that at that distance, it is not necessarily plus.
The wheel of fate is turning.
I couldn't tell you either. So I guess we can have someone look it up afterwards. Here we go. Icecool, a much stronger start compared to his previous round. Going to be actually running down this timer on Kobe's OD as well as he gets the cross up. Probably not intentional, probably is. I'm not sure. Either way, Icecool getting a lot of reward off of this.
2C ends up connecting. This is pretty good. Should be able to route into the corner. Not quite going to be able to kill yet, but plenty of resources to make it happen. Jesus.
We have all of the moves that we would ever want, and we have plenty of here to go for a crush trigger, opening up Kobe there. And Icecool gained the first round of game number 2.
Really delayed staggered a normal pressure jabs, really, just to go into the crush trigger and then crack KILLAKOB right there. Oh, trying to go for a bold DP there, but Kobe is very much so wise to it and ends up netting a pretty hefty counter hit for his trouble here. Again, this is going to be almost all 4 seals, despite except for the burst from Icecool shutting that out there, but command grab ends up coming in, and this is looking real good for Kobe already. 2A 5C connects. Oh, dropped combo into just a happy little reset. We are big fans of Bob Ross here. And sadly, though, Susanoo DP is a projectile, so when it clashes with nails like that, it could very well just end up losing hits as a result.
Yeah, that was an awkward final round there. Multiple drops coming in from Kobe, but I mean, like Kobe still feels pretty good, I would say, because you took away that burst from Icecool, so he's not gonna be having it for a pretty long time. But he might not even need to use it. Kobe getting absolutely obliterated here in the corner, and Icecool unlocking a lot of his special moves, but none of his combo special moves. Yeah, God Press, Sword, DP, and the Santos, but he doesn't have Spin or Ground Viper unlocked, or even Orb unlocked as well, and that's a bit of like a niche matchup tool that comes into play, especially in the Bang matchup when it comes to shutting down those nails. But here we go, Icecool stuck in the corner, trying to block against this defense, but can't block for forever. Finding the hit, there's the burst hit as well, and
burst on the primary jump cancelable normal. Ooh, that's real awkward. Ooh. Mind you, some of that whole pressure sequence started because Icecool watched Kobe tech and then just did and then delayed his throw by like a tick of a second to catch like the wake up drive attempt. And that's like kind of what propelled the rest of that offensive sequence from Icecool. For the time being, both characters trying to jump around, jockeying for a good position here. Icecool has to be mindful of a potential run up into a command grab.
I love using that tackle as an approach tool to get right under the nail, and there's that orb setting up the wall in Kobe's face, and Kobe tries to toss out nails or go for the air dash. He will be stuff like that. Once again, it's a niche matchup tool that comes into use most effectively in the Bang matchup.
It has there's a few other usages for orb. Some of them do end up being really niche, but like the ability to safely cancel in the orb in certain scenarios and all that can end up clutching out here. The ways in which Icecool's using it can feel somewhat specific to the Bang matchup, with like setting out the orb in order to either catch projectiles or setting out the orb to wait for Bang to kind of fall into them for sure though. RC, I don't think that's even gonna kill. He just wants to set up Nyx. Good blocks. 6B ends up connecting, but the DP afterwards. No nail Bang again. He's got to do this with some pretty awkward neutral tools available. Wouldn't be shocked if he saw an OD press. The 2A mash ends up succeeding here though. 6C.
Oh, the run of 6C overhead. Icecool. Got another round on the board. 5C round start catches Kobe, but couldn't quite confirm off of that.
Lots of jab pressure again. Kobe's trying to force Icecool to stand still a little bit so we can start implementing more of the command grab mix. So expect Icecool to still like opt for pretty active decisions, whether that's using barrier, IBB, fuzzy jumping, or even just mashing jab pressure. 3C ends up connecting with the bumper that could have converted meterlessly. The CA from Icecool pushes Kobe out. Level 2 tackle's fine, but it's not going to lead to too much with the current position Icecool is at. Reversal super ends up coming out. This is likely going to be RC into some mix-up opportunity here. Oh, ended up using the bumper and then goes for like some crazy same side mix.
I can't keep up with this character, man. And in that situation, Icecool couldn't keep up with him either, as now we have even up the round count. The 2C catches Kobe very deep, almost actually landing on the other side. And we're going to be kind of stopping that momentum that Kobe was trying to build up at the start of that round, and going to continue to build up this lead as we unlock more of our special moves. We got the sword, we got the orb, but once again, we're not unlocking the special moves that you normally think Susanna unlocks first, like the DP or the ground viper or spin.
The big thing for sword here is the ability to interrupt or blow through some projectiles. Yeah. And I think that's what Icecool's like somewhat looking for, but the way that Kobe's positioning and sending out nails in certain scenarios, it doesn't feel like the sword has been able to do too much yet. You know, aside from that, of course, like the sword just adds a ton to the Rambo super. Same for orb. We'll see ends up coming up here. Bumper gets used, jumps out of the overhead, but unable to punish it. Tries to go for 6B, but there's still a gap there, which results in Kobe having the opportunity, the time to go for a reversal super, converts with the RC as well, and that will be 8-3 for Kobe here.
Kobe trying to get this reset, one more game, and now things are looking way more even compared to winners finals. Now we're trading games back and forth. Is this going to be Icecool's game to take, or we're going to be seeing a reset on our hands for tonight? we will see as we get into game number 4 of Grand Finals. Immediately starting off with a 6-piece straight into the 2C the moment Kobe tries to establish pressure after that 6-P whips.
We're seeing overdrive come out from Kobe, but surprisingly only leading to really a command grab, which is honestly pretty surprising here. Jesus Christ, Tech JA, it feels like we're playing Dragon Ball Fire down Tech match. And should go for DP here with the proration on the combo. Looking for a throw opportunity, trying to nullify some of the drive usage here. DP's in response to the dash up, but Kobe ends up playing it a bit more hesitantly in blocks. No tech, which results in a bit of an extension of the confirm here. It's likely not going to be a burst. Icecool going to take the death here.
And especially with that poison applied as well, we didn't really have to worry about spending we didn't really have to worry about spending meter to extend that combo to get the kill. Like,
oh, big hit!
Huge OD to start us off!
This is going to be pretty great damage. Getting the OD on the command grab is super, super big. Whenever you're playing against pretty much any character with a command grab, getting an overdrive through it always sends a very big message to them. Throw ends up coming out afterwards, and this round is looking very good in favor of Icecool here. Several solid unlocks available too. All it will take is one more hit to get it done. Kobe ends up going for the wake up 2D, which in a lot of ways is pretty solid here. 2D ends up losing 2D guard points everything but lows, and Susanoo's lows are not necessarily great. You can generally block high against this character a little more frequently than you'd expect. So I can somewhat understand the 2D. Again, at the end of the day, you're still RPSing pretty heavily, but there's a bit of reduced risk when you're doing it against Susanoo like that.
Sure, and while Kobe is on reset point, Icecool is going to delay that just a little bit longer, apparently. Icecool DP immediately after, unlocks it, and then, yeah, very bold. I mean, Icecool so far has been using a lot of these DPs and not actually backing them up with meter at all, instead really believing that they're going to hit. And Kobe having to respect him more often, especially when he doesn't have meter. And I think that's really making him less predictable when it comes to playing this defense. 60 unlocking the spin, and we're going to be getting Ground Viper 2.
Oh, what in the world is this mix-up? What is this setup? I've never seen that a day in my life. Jesus Christ. Regardless of the confusion of the screen here, one thing is very, very clear. Icecool has won game 4 here. We're going into a game 5 already.
Was that a drop? Was that a setup? I'm so confused.
It looked very, with the way that he piloted into the throw immediately, that looked like it was a setup. What that is, I have no idea, but that looked very intentional.
The wheel of fate is turning.
We're going into a game 5 again. Icecool is at tournament point, not just, well, almost at tournament point here. But right now with Kobe in this grand final set, doing infinitely better than in a winner's final so far. So who knows how this can end up playing out here. We could end up seeing a reset. Both players chilling out in neutral for the most part. Ooh, the dash 6A ends up catching the back tap, surprisingly. Yeah, his percentage on blocking overheads has been a little bit better, but sometimes I swear to God, that 6 regardless.
Icecool now on the ropes. The bumper has been set up in his face. Counter assault coming in from Icecool, getting him off and spending those resources. But it will be paying off for Icecool as he runs Kobe to the other side of the screen. But Kobe mashing effectively and trying to get that command grab. Not going to work out as Icecool does jump it.
I'm so surprised because Icecool's been very willing to jump when he feels that a command grab is happening, but he's been doing up back instead of like neutral jump JC, which likely would end up counter hitting Kobe for it. I'm not too sure if he's like worried about maybe like repressure with buttons instead, but like when you're correct twice in a row there and then your jump attempt ends up not working out successfully, that can kind of mess with you a bit. So I do wonder if it's going to result in Icecool opting to either mash a little more, or if he's going to try to take an even bolder decision when he feels that command grab is coming by. For the time being, both players have really just been trading like small, tight offensive strings here.
That's really how it feels. OD activation but in that instance, Kobe was not pressing the button, instead just going for the run up block. And I love that Kobe just continues to represent that option, poking at Icecool and forcing, and not really forcing him, but kind of nudging him to do an option in to try to stuff him. And in that instance, they kind of just overextend in the face of him, and then Kobe can get that punish. And right now, Kobe is completely running over Icecool here in the corner front. Spends the burst, getting hit.
I don't know if he necessarily wanted that. That was a very scrambly situation that came up right then and there. Again, Kobe is at set point here. All it takes is just one more round to get it done. Command grab connects. It's not quite enough. DP's available, but this man still mashed, trying to go for the spin setup. Doesn't end up succeeding on this run. 6D ends up connecting from afar. Active flow available. Big drops on the scene here. No nails available for Bang. Not enough seals for a command grab super. Plenty of meter for a few defensive responses here coming in. But it's just going to be the run-up 6B. Kobe loves to do that when he's trying to close out a game and it's looking real dire. He will just run up in 6B, people. He has done that for years.
It has really been years at this point, because the confidence from Kobe there. 6B RC closed out the round so easily, and now we are at a reset, folks. The slate has been completely wiped, and now we're back to a 0-0 point record, as now Icecool is on even footing with Kobe. We'll see who is able to take that first game to start the momentum of this final set of grand finals. Before it was Kobe. Kobe got that first game. So we'll see if Icecool is able to respond and get a game of his own, or we're going to be seeing another really close one here.
The wheel of fate is turning.
Honestly, it is very, very hard to tell here. We'll see what ends up coming up here. Again, oh, Jesus Christ. Good block on the teleport. Not too much coming up afterwards, though. Again, these guys are not really necessarily like, oh, Jesus Christ. Sometimes I feel like I watch Icecool be willing to block for like half a minute, and then every now and then he just lets rip the most like I'm playing on ranked at 4 a.m. DP I've seen in my life. Not that that was necessarily the case, but like sometimes he just lets it rip.
Alright, sets up the bumper. Doesn't only going to be unlocking two of those seals, and now we'll be unlocking the other two as well. We should be sitting at 4 seals. There we go.
Jesus Christ. Big counter hit off of the 2C as well. Plenty of meter as well to make the most of this hit. Jesus Christ, 4.6 is nothing to scoff at.
Small tray, treading with the nails, a little bit of awkward thing there. Kobe, can we do enough damage? We're going to be rooting straight into the super here. And yes, it will be enough, as Kobe takes the first round of this reset.
Rebel 2. Action.
Round number 2, 5C, going to actually combo off of this time around. And that's going to be providing Icecool a lot of reward, getting 2 of those special moves unlocked. But Kobe has been playing very active at teching all these throws that Icecool has presented to him.
All the throw techs in the world won't stop you from getting slapped in your face. I can't lie. That's true. Good 5B round start as well, catching Kobe trying to up back in neutral. Honestly, kind of surprised that it ended up clipping him. I don't know if Kobe like jumped forwards or. Oh god, this game is funny, man. This game is so funny.
CP once again not backing up. Didn't have meter to back it up there, so ended up going for an instant burst. CP once again keeping Kobe honest. OD activation from Kobe though on the 5A. Icecool there.
Forcing out the EA early from Bang is pretty nice. While it is an active flow, so it's still, you know, meaningless 4K damage, it is a bit better than getting pieced up by Bang's OD for about 20 seconds while he laughs in your face. Looking for a fuzzy opportunity, but keeps it simple. Maybe didn't like the spacing on that or what have you. Only 1 nail left and it doesn't even matter. Icecool manages to get the next round here. Game 1 is already looking quite close.
3. Action.
Only one can move on in game number 1, and Icecool immediately trying to press the advantage, unlocks the DP. Kobe though, beginning the first combo of the game, drawing first blood, 1 seal unlocked, 2 seals unlocked. And we're going to stand up that bumper right there instead of going for even more. With the right hit, with the right starter, Bang can unlock all 4 seals at once, but doesn't have to. Instead, opting to set up stuff like the bumpers to provide more situations to open up the other player. And now Icecool spending that burst, unlocks Orb from full screen. Let's see what we have available. Spends the nails, catches Icecool, and converts off it straight into the super, now powered up by the OD.
And that's going to be game 1 in favor of Kobe. While a couple of those rounds ended up being close, this round felt much, much more decisive.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hope that's not the case, that it's going to be a complete decisive win for Kobe, and we're going to be seeing some flashes of brilliance from Icecool once again, as we'll see how Icecool responds in the reset. Icecool did take the game after Kobe won the first, so we'll see if Kobe takes another game and widens this gap even further with a 2-0. Right now, Kobe at a 1-0. Can we do that? Icecool starting with the 6B, going very aggressive once again. And Kobe also playing very aggressive as well with that round start I-80.
6B ends up getting blocked, and the 6B on block scenario can get a little like janky. I can only assume it's just due to like Susan's like jab frame being like not the best. But yeesh, this is looking very much so in favor of Kobe. Again, a very, very big switch up from their very first set in winners finals tonight.
Yeah,
Icecool isn't necessarily any slouch either. He's still trying to go for some calm pressure in a few areas here. Oh my god, you still up back and threw a nail. Jesus.
It stays on the screen, might as well.
I like the jab and around start, really good avoidance on the command grab. But again, opting for the up back, it ends up just placing him outside of punish range. To me, if you're committing towards just like jumping over command grab, you may as well, I guess, put your back into it, so to speak, and just like full send it in that manner, where it's like, all right, you might as well just jump forward, or you just neutral jump and then you look for a big punish here. OD's on the 6B, doesn't end up leading to a huge punish, but it's still a decent start here. Should be able to go for, oh, he goes for the full unlock super, okay. Do not see that very frequently.
Oh, but I think Icecool is really just trying to get whatever he can in this round, and he has plenty of health as well to make sure that he can afford to get more meter later on in this round for a potential super or RC to extend his pressure. Kobe stuck in the corner, goes for the slide RCs to extend it, and with this poison, this is going to be doing way more than what it says on the screen with 3.3k.
Honestly, that whole scenario was super, super weird because it was, oh my god, okay, hold on a second, we ain't got time for none of that analysis stuff. Icecool's got some pretty good hits here. He's looking for an air tech option here. He's begging to see Kobe do it. Look at all these 2As here. He's willing to do this for like 25 seconds. And of course, it's the one time you don't look for it is where you get hit. But Jesus Christ, tip JC like so beautifully there. No nails for Bang here. Neutral is severely weakened, but 3C in Jesus Christ, man. In 3C we trust.
And now Kobe, taking another 2 rounds in a row, has put himself into a fantastic position in this grand finals after winning the reset, taking all that momentum away from Icecool, and now sitting at a 2-0 here. One more game win, and this is going to be the set and the tournament going to Kobe. Icecool starting us off with that JC hit, getting the knockdown. Both players activating their OD, but Kobe is the one that's going to come out on top, and this is going to be unlocking all of his seals to increase the damage from his combos.
Jesus Christ, this is this has been a very, very explosive game 3 so far here. And again, this is in resets you typically see like the winner's side end up kind of like recouping whatever happened in the first set and then starting to like cook their opponent. But right now it really does feel like Kobe's built up so much more momentum over time, and we might just see a 3-0 to end off the night here, folks.
I think we might. That last round was so decisive for Kobe, and this round start win on that interaction is also just as decisive. Icecool needs to have a response quickly, or this tournament will be going to Kobe. Bumper is on the screen, but yeah, you can't really OD that and get a guaranteed punish because we're recovering so fast and we're at that range where Susanoo doesn't quite have the buttons to punish fast enough. Arcsys to extend, trying to go for a grab, doesn't work out. And Icecool using that gap to punish him in the middle of that anti-air attempt. And now Icecool is starting to make something work. We have some more specials unlocked. We got DP, we got Ground Viper, and we're maybe trying to unlock a little bit more, but we don't have the meter to extend his pressure beyond that. There's a DP, and that's going to punish.
DP, no meter behind it to even make it a little safer. Kobe ending up finding a hit here. That's going to be command grab. RC, OD, he wants to finish this fight right now. He has been trying super hard here, but he's got one more hit to go through here. Did not pop active flow off the conversion here. The 2A ends up coming out. Icecool's 2A in kind ends up punishing the jab here. He's got 5 seconds of overdrive. He needs to make it work here. Let's see what the knockdown ends up looking like. Kobe finds a good up.
Icecool should be able to take this route away.
Oh my god. That drop was so unfortunate. That was supposed to, that had to have been maybe like spin or something. Oh my god. I don't know what the combo was supposed to be, but that is a tragic drop.
Either way, congratulations to KILLAKOB3S, proving us all wrong and taking the win over Icecool in the end after a fantastic reset and a fantastic bracket. Thank you all for showing up and supporting Boston Blue Beat, as now we're halfway through Burst Limit. Week 6 will be next week, so you can look forward to more action. And also look forward to the Twitter post later on to show us how that leaderboard is starting to look after Kobe's big win this week. Thanks for showing up as always. Of course, plug the Matcherino as well. We haven't done that all night so far. Shout out to Small Squish for the $10.25 to the pot. If you want to add more to the pot as well, you can go ahead and hit exclamation point Matcherino in the chat to bring that up. We right now have $13.50, and we also have 36 codes remaining, so go ahead and claim those if you can. Other than that, any final words till we do?
I feel like you talked about quite a lot of the stuff going on here, folks. Don't forget, for the rest of this week, we still got a bunch of more games for y'all to catch. Tomorrow will be Plus R. The next day will be Uni 2, and you know it's going to be off the back of a new patch, which shook a couple of things up, folks. So I think it'll be pretty exciting here. And yet again, just want to say thank you guys all for coming out here. We've got plenty of more video games here tonight. But thank you all for coming out. We'll find somebody to raid real quick. Give me not but a moment, and we'll look around here. I guess you know what? We'll throw you guys to Pat the Flip. He's playing CVS 2. That's not a game for me, but it's a pretty cool game. But yeah, again, y'all, thank you so much for coming around here. It has been a pleasure. Let me make sure I'm typing this out properly for this raid here. Okay, great. I did do it properly.
There you go.
Again, don't be weird when you rate it. We play video games, all right? Don't be weird about it. Thank you guys for coming out here. Should be a good time.